Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Naruto has ramen shop in rwby. Before I start, please support for more amazing content and do consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. This is written by BLAZERAPTOR54 and link in description and support writer. Let's start the video. Chapter 1. A large ship transporting cargo was anchored just off the coast of Vale, its security consisting of few android units that were around the ship. As they slowly made their rounds, one spotted a figure cloaked in all navy blue standing on the railing of the ship. Halt. The electric solider states as part of its program, present identification. The android's response to the request was a knife that screeched through the air. The android had no chance to avoid it, the knife simply went straight through its head. The figure jumped into the air, skipping off a cargo pod. The figure moved as if he was a feather in the wind. Two of the other androids came over, investigating what had just occurred. The android's normally wide eyes suddenly glowed red, indication of combat protocols being activated, but it was for naught as both were suddenly taken to the ground by two more knives. The figure stood there, behind them, before sliding the knives out of their metal craniums. Slowly, calmly, almost like a ghost since his footsteps made no sound whatsoever, the figure walked slowly towards the helm's office for the ship. Something moved at the top of the figure's hood before he suddenly leaned back as a sailor appeared to his side with crowbar in hand. The figure spun around as he leaned back, delivering a devastating kick to the side of the man's face with his left foot. The ship's alarm started to blare out as the figure started to quick his pace. Slowly he looked around before throwing his knives to both sides of himself. The knives soared through air, two androids appeared on his opposite sides, and just like the other three had knives buried into their heads. The figure's mask, a porcelain in the likeness of a swallow, got stained by a drop of oil when one of the knives hit a pressure valve on the machine. Sighing, the figure finally spoke, revealing a male's voice. "I just had this cleaned." Looking up, the figure saw the captain before crouching down and jumping upwards. He kicked off a light post to gain height, much to surprise of the captain. It looked like this figure was doing stuff one would normally see a kung fu movie with too much string. As the figure landed, the captain reached for his pistol, only feel a cold metal up against his throat. So fast. The captain looked at the masked figure before shaking, dropping his pistol. "Please don't kill me, I have a family, please don't kill me. Set the autopilot for this boat to go to the north end of Vale's ports, then tell your men to get in the lifeboats and sail opposite. You will then join your men, leaving this vessel and all of its contents. Failure to comply will be met with death." The figure speaks as he presses the blade against the man's neck. "Am I to be understood?" "Why yes, sir." The captain walked over to the console, pressing a single button. "All men to your life rafts. I repeat, all men to your life rafts, this is not a drill. Explosives have been found on the ship, I repeat, explosives have been on the ship." While he was speaking he had begun to set the autopilot. Turning to the figure, letting of the button. "Satisfied, sir?" The captain questions with a hiss. "Yes, you should think about a career in acting." The figure quipped as he nudged his head. "Scream before I change my mind on killing you." Wasting no time, the captain quickly ran. As the captain ran out, the figure slowly watched as the ship began to move. Chuckling, he simply took a seat in the captain's chair before feeling a vibration in his pocket. Pulling out the source, his scroll, the figure chuckled as the ringtone played. "The rain is falling down. The rain keeps falling on my head." A children's song. "I'm going to get her back for putting that on my call alert." Swiping across the scroll, the figure put his scroll against his ear. "Sup? Have you got the ship already on its way? So tell me, this is a small military cruiser from Atlas. Why wasn't it more armed? What did you all send me after this time? Does it matter? You're getting paid handsomely for it. Guess you're right." A loud crash rang the ship before the figure sighed. "I'll call you right back." The figure got up, seeing a large mechanical knight standing at the ship's bow. Smirking under his mask, the figure simply exited the helm central office as the knight launched a shoulder-mounted rocket into it. Luckily, somehow, this didn't stop the autopiloting going on. The blast blew the office away, however the figure simply floated down onto the deck of the ship. "I think that captain is going to win a golden idol one day, usually I play people like a fiddle." The machine slowly stepped forward, drawing a blade out from its arm where it had kept it hidden. The sword it was wielding was in the style of very large longsword. The machine itself stood 6 meters in height, easily tripling the height of the figure facing him down. The machine started to run forwards, slinging its arm back. The figure just stood there as the machine slung its arc over its head. Stepping to the side, the figure watched as the sword smashed into the deck of the ship before he spun around. Several flows of white light and air slowly formed over the figure's right palm as a ball of pure blue and white energy formed. The ball then gained a shell of blistering wind around it as it started to form 4 blades on opposite sides to each other. All this occurring in the single spin the figure had made. When the spin finally came to its full 360, the figure leaped off his right foot. Cocking his right arm back, he announced what his attack was. Rasen Shuriken. The bot was smashed center mass. A loud explosion sounded as waves of wind rolled off the ball before the machine slowly got picked up into the air. However, once it did, it was then sent flying upwards, smashing into a cargo pod on the way up. Holding his fist closed as he looked dead at the ball of white and blue light shooting off with a machine like a comet, the figure simply smiled. Expand. The screech that filled the air was massive, followed by a thunderous boom as the comet was replaced by a stationary sphere of swirling and unyielding wind. Very few parts of the giant metal knight escaped the sphere. The wind created by the sphere churned the seas until a large waterspout formed over the sphere before finally it collapsed into itself. The masked figure stood on the ship's bow, glaring at the captain as he retreated. "You're very lucky, that takes a lot of aura to use, Captain, because I would throw another one for you." The figure states just loud enough for the captain to hear. The vibration came back, making the figure grumble in frustration. "Yo." He picked up the phone. "What the hell was that? A giant metal knight attacked me. Well, get back here, and I swear if there is any damage to the ship you're taking a pay cut." The figure looked at the disheveled deck before looking back at his scroll. "Yeah," the figure drawled, "so tell me, do you have an electrician in your gang?" "How bad?" Just some facial damage. A piece of metal from the top of the helm that was barely hanging on fell and created a loud groan on the ship, and metal damage. He sucked his teeth as he just sighed. "I'll take a 15% pay cut." The blonde-haired teen slowly walked. It was snowing along the path he took on a forested area inside of the walls of Vale City. Wore an orange guy with a red sash around his midsection to help hold up his black pants. His black overcoat was hanging on him loosely. On his wrist were black and red clothed arm guards, and on his back was a staff. Sighing, his fox-like ears on his head twitched as he neared a rather large building. He had bought the building on short sale a long time ago when an owner forgone to pay the bank their money. Currently he was hoping to fix it up a little more, but that was another struggle for another day. Right now, as he neared his home, he heard the laughter of several children. Smiling, he soon came to the door of the large building, knocking on it. The child answered the door. His hair was orange in color and he had fox-like ears as well. The boy's smile beamed as he shouted out, "Brother Naruto is home." He quickly turned to see several human and Franus children stop playing watching TV to turn to the doorway. "Hey Gamma, I got your candy." Naruto smiles as he talks to the small child sitting on the sectional's end. The small child had pink hair with green on the tips of it. She had yellow eyes. She was Franus as well, her trait being the claws she had on her hand. To a lot of children outside of the house, Gamma looked scary, but to everyone she was just the shy little sister. The teen girl soon enters the room after exiting the kitchen area. "Naruto." She calls as she runs over and hugs him. She had brown hair, brown eyes, and was wearing just average clothing consisting of sweatpants and a t-shirt. "How did work go?" "Went good, AM. How's every one of my little squirts doing here, giving you trouble?" Naruto eyed one, a human boy with red hair and eyes. Jai. "Ain't got nothing to say, Dukang here kept Gamma and Chichi up all night." Jai states as he crosses his arms while chewing a blade of grass, complaining about some ghost. "Ghost?" Naruto yells. He looks around rapidly and looks at a skinny black-haired boy. "Dukang, for real a ghost?" "I just saw this shadow, it just kept staring at me," Dukang answered innocently while tapping his fingers together. Well, guess I better call a monk." Naruto comments as he looks towards AM before giving a politely uniformed bow. "Thanks again, Sister AM, I'll be sure to stop at the shop tonight and pick up dinner for us." "Don't mention it, man, we're straight, you just keep our streets clean," she says as she begins to walk out. "Oh, and Naruto. Maybe you should consider getting this place a little bit of a woman's love and touch." The blonde blushed a little bit, rubbing the back of his head. A good one." She smirks before speaking in a much lower tone. "I know a girl who'd like to meet you." "And I know 6 wait Jai, Dukang, Gamma, Aoi, and where is Leonaka?" Naruto stopped before AM looked around, pinching the bridge of her nose, and Naruto huffed. "Imma whoop them, I sweared." 2 children stood on a busy street, holding a picture of their brother. One had blonde hair and another had red hair, both having blue eyes. "Excuse me miss, you look beautiful, are you single? Would you like to meet a prince?" The blonde politely but excitingly shouted out. "Hey, you, don't be stingy, yeah so what if our brother is a faunus, he's single and ready to mingle?" The redhead shouted. "He's also super mad." They heard their brother yell as he landed in front of them, quickly snatching his picture up. "Lee, Aka, what the heck are you two doing?" "Trying to get you a wife." Aka crossed her arms, "Besides brother, you're 17 today." "Oh right, it's October." Naruto scratched the back of his head. "I forgot my own birthday." "We didn't," Lee states as she held up a separate photo, "so we're trying to get you a girlfriend." "Hey, hold up, why wife then Aka?" Naruto inquires as he looks a little redeed in front him. Well, aren't wives supposed to be girlfriends first? Naruto chuckled at Aka's questions before sighing. Aka, Lee, listen. I work very hard for us, each week I make sure that you're all clothed, fed and properly educated. It's a lot to ask, but I'm glad to have to step up for you all, but I'm asking as your older brother here. Naruto took both of their hands. Don't run off again, don't worry about this stuff, it's adult stuff, and promise me you'll take down that sign. Nice, but Naruto turned his head to a passing Redeed as she winked at him before refocusing on Aka and Lee. Aka smirking at Naruto as she nudged her head at the woman walking away. No, Naruto deadpanned, making both girls lower their heads in defeat. Naruto soon brought Lee and Aka home and walked into where AM was patiently waiting. I'm so sorry, they're so quick. Well, 2 10-year-old twins are devious, right Lee, Aka? Naruto eyed both the girls. Yeah, yes sir. Good, Naruto walks up to AM and smiles as he this time hugs her. Don't hold yourself down for this, they run out all the time. Okay, AM rubs the back of her head, well dad needs me at the stand. Alright, be safe. Naruto lets her go before following to the door. When it closed, Naruto turns around and slumps down. Ah, finally, peace and quiet. Andy Naruto was broken from the shy little noise and Gama standing in front of him holding out her hand. Big brother please. Here, Naruto hands her the candy, just be nice and give some to your brothers and sisters. Naruto felt something drop from his coat before picking up his porcelain mask and sighing. I wish there was another way to do this, but they need me to do this. Hunters don't make much money legally at least, and it's a lot riskier running into a horde than running into a few armed guards. Liu Kang, do you want to play Outlast Ninja 2? Jai called out to the child. Sure brother Naruto, can we use your TV? Liu Kang inquires as he gives Naruto a look with his eyes before watching the blonde smile. Sure Aoi, go set it up for him. Right boss. Aoi saluted Naruto as he ran towards his big brother's room. Aoi is the oldest of my bunch, he's going to be turning 12 soon, he wants to be a hunter. Jai is a little butthead, but he's my go-to guy on being blunt honest. Lee and Aka always tease him for being kind and obedient, but they'll learn one day that he does it because he's head honcho if something goes wrong. No, can't think like that. Gama and Liu Kang are just 6, they need a role model and a father I guess. Naruto looked at all the kids before smiling and getting up. Naruto and family had all finished supper, which was ramen and chicken with several vegetables as side dishes. Naruto watched as Liu Kang got up, walking towards his shared room between him, Jai, and Aoi. Lee and Aka had decided to stay up and watch TV. Lee, Aka, make sure to clean up before going to bed. If you clean up good I'll make sure to buy you two some crushed ice as a treat if I go out tomorrow. Naruto says as he walks over and picks Gama up, bouncing her around a little bit. Okay brother, night. Lee calls out as they turn the TV over to A Hunter's Dream, a child's cartoon about huntsmen. Naruto walks with Gama, taking her into the girl's room. Gama had her own bed, while the girls shared a bunk bed. Naruto had built the bed frames himself, minus the pillows, covers, and mattresses. Pretty much everything was what he built with local trees in the area. Even the house's wooden flooring. In fact, he redid the house by himself and often wondered if he just should get a job being a carpenter. However, carpenters tended to need education costs money, and that money is what he didn't have now. Naruto placed Gama on the bed, covering her up as he lightly singed for her. Rinchaku ha na hinasanai. He lightly singed as he tucked her in before watching slowly start to snore. This unforgettable love, this attachment, I will not let go. As he walked over to the door Naruto cuts the lights off before turning around and smiling at her as his fox ears lightly twitched. Naruto was standing outside of the house, he had a sketchbook with him, sketching what he was planning to do with the house on how to expand it out. He thought about adding a porch on the front of it so the kids could be out in the rain, he thought about a garden. He imagined a woman working in that garden, wearing white clothing, he even drew her in. Smiling, he made sure to make a note at the top in very small letters to color this in and frame it. He flipped the page, redrawing the more serious manner of his task, and went around house doing so. He even thought about fencing, placing a shed at the back, maybe starting a small parcel farm for when the others got older to help him. Naruto stopped before long and looked at small wild rose bush growing in his backyard. Walking over to it, he gently stroked the rose bush, which even responded to him as he flowed blue and white energy onto it. The roses blossomed more, changing several colors, before he picked out 3 blue and pink roses. Chuckling, he looked at his bundle. Definitely doing a garden. Naruto spoke in his mind as he looked back at the house, before sighing. Each one of the children in his home were children he took off the streets. Children that had been hungry, cold, and alone. Gama herself was the newest addition to the ever-growing family Naruto had started with Aoi a couple of years ago. Back then he and Aoi both were on the streets, it was just Naruto took care of him more than he did himself. Naruto got involved in his practice of professional theft by benefactors who needed things and not necessarily legal. He was actually pretty good at it, it was a lot better than some low-level job. Naruto pulled out a piece of paper, smiling, it was birthday gifts and dates. Each going by the oldest to youngest. Chapter 2. A shadow slowly emerged from the corner of a dark room, the mask of the swallow figure was evident in the dim lighting inside the warehouse. I got your call, ramen. The figure states as he crosses his arms, another job. Indeed, my mask-wearing compatriot of theft, we've got another job lined up for you, it's a big one. A man with orange hair stepped out of the shadows, he wore a rather expensive suit with a bowler hat on his hair. He held a cane with his right hand as he stopped walking. A girl with multicolored eyes and hair soon appeared next to him. Neo here got wind of a shipment of dust from the SDC coming into port tonight. You're to simply go about and take down their anti-air batteries so we can swoop in like the majestic bastards we are. Chuckling, that's what Roman heard before the figure spoke up. I like the plan, tell me, what's the guard looking like? Well, Swallow, good question. Neo here told me that there is a few of those big night mechs there. However, from what she saw, only one is active. Roman brought up a hologram projection and the figure identified as Swallow slowly walked over to it. The others are actually activated by a central computer in the helm of the ship. I could just pull the ship out of harbor then. Swallow offers as he looks the map over, for a 15% increase of course. You see though as damn delightful it would be to have an Atlas cruiser, it's a friggin' cruiser. Roman points out as he looks at Swallow, you're to simply to do as you're told. No fuss, no mess, no problems. So how much am I looking at here? Swallow inquires as he immediately takes a mental note of all the battery locations. If the job's done like it should be, you're looking at about 15,000 leans and not a copper less. Swallow gave a gruff sucking of his teeth as he heard the number. That's all, Swallow looked at Neo, and I bet she's getting what 15%. She's the greatest asset I have, along with you being the muscle and clandestine operative. She's literally the brains to everything that goes on here, Mr. Swallow. Roman grumbles as he looks at the uniformed master infiltrator. He let out a sigh of frustration, double it. You're easily pulling well over a 500,000 lean worths of precious gems. Fine, 30,000. Roman grabbed a stack of money from his wallet, tossing it over to Swallow, 15 as a starter. Swallow pocketed the money, I'll be ready in 30 minutes, have your bulwarks moving within 25 minutes it won't be long. Swallow dashed along the sides of a cargo pod before dropping down and split-kicking two of the guards unconscious. Dashing up a cargo pod he twisted himself around before launching several kunai laced with electric dust against a large anti-air battery. Landing with a soft thud against the top of the cargo pod, Swallow turned around before looking over at the other large battery and quickly threw kunai at it as well. Dashing over the tops of the containers he began to read out labels while holding his right hand's index finger to his ear. There is electric dust at the front of the ship, fire dust in the middle, and gravity dust at the back from what I seen. 2 of the 4 guns disabled. He called out as he slid under guard before kicking the poor man in crouch and caused him to fall backwards off the pod he had been standing on. No casualties so far. Okay Mr. Swallow, you've got about 5 minutes to disable the other guns. Nodding he brought his hand down before jumping across a few of the pods, before silently leaping over the only active knight. He quickly made his way to the back of the ship where the other 2 guns were and like the rest, simply short-circuited them. Atlas may have been the most technologically advanced civilization on Remnant, but the reliance on their tech for war was a pitiful excuse for the supposed mightiest army on the world, especially since electric dust easily disabled their weapons. He was about to turn around when he heard a large bang, before leaning backwards and avoiding a trail of white light that nearly got him in the head. Smirking under his mask, he came face to face with the leader of the ship. A right-hand lady to be exact to Atlas's massive military, Winter Schnee. Isn't it a little late to be out, miss? Swallow called out as he noticed several guards pointing guns at him from below. I've got to say you Atlas people have really good acting skills. So, what let you believe that I was on the ship the guns being disabled? Enough talking. Winter ordered as she pulled out 2 swords from a single hilt which made Swallow whistle. By order of the Atlassian Kingdom you're under arrest for sabotage. And theft, excuse me, oh nothing. Shaking her head, she looked towards her man, all of them cocking and aiming their rifles at Swallow. Madam, forgive me, but I cannot in good conscience not match your force with a lesser force. He spoke as he crossed both of his arms before the gun sounded off when Winter nudged her head. Only to watch in shock as a massive blast of wind erupted from the center of the man before her, but this Swallow must take flight upon a heavy wind. The bullets all stopped due to sudden drop and increase of air pressure. Their men, all of them without proper training to withstand such an attack, was sent scattered across the ship's bow, all alive, but all knocked into varying states of unconsciousness. She glared right at the man in front of her before twisting both swords in her hand until they formed an ice and fire-like coating. Guess you control wind as your semblance?" She inquires before he shrugs. "It wouldn't be untrue but not fully true," he cryptically states as he drops into a fighting stance. "Swallow, we're inbound, 1 minute." Smirking under his mask, Swallow easily avoided Winter as she dashed and attempted to slash his head off. It was like a dance between the two, Swallow easily avoiding the prodigy by twisting, jumping and leaning opposite to each slice and stab. Simply producing a blue energy around his arms, she watched as he casually blocked her blades. Incredible was all she could think of as she spun on her foot and attempted to rapidly attack him. Hoping it would break the energy shield he had put around his arm, maybe cut it off. However, she came to a jerking stop as her main blade was caught, making her look at Swallow. "You're incredibly skilled, miss, for a basic grunt, a huntress." "Yes, you must be. I'm rather impressed with myself for holding up this long against you." "Enough talk." Winter yells as she jerks the sword from his hand, frowning with no blood on her blades. Sighing, Swallow looked at her before he looked over at the 4 inactivated metal knights. "Not going to lie, but I understand why you wouldn't risk a bunch of these things roaming around on the deck of this ship. Especially with so much burn dust, gravity dust and wind dust. You'd probably burn this entire dock to the ground. Is that what you're planning to do?" She growled her question out as she backed away more. "Oh no," in a blur that made her stumble back, Swallow appeared in front of her. "If I wanted you dead it'd only be less than a minute." Winter changed tactics before backflipped and launching 2 separate waves of elemental fury off her swords via a single glyph appearing in front of her. Swallow, chuckling all along, merely clapped his hands together as a blue wall of energy protected him. Winter's eyes widened, he had just blocked a very powerful attack with aura alone, and that wasn't even a part of his natural overshield. She looked over his shoulder, noticing several bulwarks coming in. She never called in reinforcements, but a look at the man from in front told her that he was more than some saboteur. She felt a large thump from behind her as a metal knight landed behind her, before arming its rockets. "Target the bulwarks." She ordered it, only to hear a loud screech of wind. She had a look of utter surprise on her face as she dove off the cargo pod she had jumped to, just in time to watch the metal knight get blasted off its feet and into the sky. The metal knight was careening up in the air before the woman looked up and saw the sphere blast out in a thunderous roar. Shaking, fear running through her spine as she hadn't dived off the pod, she looked over at him. What, but how, when? "I'm not needing to go into detail, but let me remind you, you sit on possibly the biggest bomb of dust crystals in the harbor. If I had aimed my attack lower, my aura would have mixed with the gravity dust, and then well your men, the dock workers, the people probably near the dock, would have all been killed." Swallow stared right into her very soul. "Would have been the biggest mistake of your career, madam," a callous and fury-fueled. "I'd call you brilliant, but you're too stupid to take the hint." Looking over from below, she saw the man standing there with arms crossed. "It's advisable, madam, that you just stand down." He yells as she gets up to glare at him. "There's no sense losing a life over some stupid dust. I took careful measures to make sure you and your men will live through the night. But, as for that look, I'll answer it." Holding his hand out, he slowly but surely formed another. Holding his hand above his head, "I could have killed you at any point." Forming the sphere, Winter was helpless as she saw the transports coming in. She watched as they quickly put their magnetic cables onto their selected cargo, all gravity dust, before dashing away. She even noted, rather fearfully, that the man she had been fighting chose a gravity dust pod to stand on. She always had a habit of keeping combat times. Looking at her wrist-mounted scroll, she took note that the entire engagement she had and her possible death would have just happened in under a minute. She shook. Why had he been so calm about it all? Why spare her? Was it sport? "Specialist Schnee report. Specialist Schnee, come in, this is General Ironwood. What's the status of our cargo specialist?" Sickeningly and shaking, she merely brought her scroll up to her mouth. This is Specialist Schnee. 4 cargo pods of high-grade gravity dust taken, 1 metal knight destroyed, along with 4 anti-air ship batteries, all of my men incapacitated." Naruto was slowly waking up. He looked around, feeling something laying against him. Looking down, he saw Gamma had crawled into bed with him. She always had night terrors every so often. Sighing, he got up, slowly picking her up as well. Walking into the hall, he opened the girl's room before walking over and placing her in her own bed. Sighing, Naruto stroked some of her before smiling a little bit. Tucking her in, he stretched as he began to walk out of her room. Looking out a window, Naruto noted that it was early morning. Pulling out his scroll from his pocket, he dialed a few numbers before a lady's voice came into his ear. "Your account balance is 20,200 lien and 76 coppers. An automatic bill payment of 15,600 lien will be deducted from your account as per banking agreement on your mortgage." Groaning, Naruto pinched the bridge of his nose before taking a deep breath. "I wonder how much I still owe on my 20 acres here," Naruto states as he slides over to get his clothing, his working uniform as he came to call it. Slowly he put the tops on before walking towards a bathroom to put the bottoms on. Hearing a toilet flush, he watched as Aoi came out. "Oi brother, what time is it?" "About morning time." Naruto says as he looks at Aoi with a smile, "Go wake up Jai and tell him to get Dukang up. I'm going to have you help me today." "Oh okay, sure." Aoi ran into the boys' room. Before long, Naruto heard screaming from Jai, followed by groaning from Dukang. "So, what are we doing out here?" Jai questions as his left eye twitched. "Oh, simply my little man, we're going to be cutting up oak trees. Which is why I am giving you and Aoi an axe." Jai and Aoi looked at Dukang as he held a shovel. "Dukang is going to at the yellow posts I've placed around the house the past week, now I don't expect him to get done today, he's small. You two on the other hand will be working at pace with me. I'm going to cut the trees down, and you'll simply be chopping at the lengths I've marked." "Yes sir." Aoi saluted Naruto as he quickly picked up his axe. "So, what's all this for exactly?" Jai questions as he picks up his axe, "And why aren't the twins helping?" "The twins are going to make dinner, I left them a how-to guide on the future by their chore list. Doing this with me exempts you from chores this week, since it'll be a lot of work, and as for what it was I thought someone wanted a swing set." Jai's eyes widened as he had a smile develop on his face, he bent down quickly before picking up his axe and holding it in the air. "I'm ready to cut down this entire forest, then Naruto." Jai yells as he bounces up and down. Aoi and Naruto looked at each other, rolling their eyes, they watched as Dukang walked over to where the posts were marked. "Okay guys, wait here for me." Naruto states as they slowly sat on the ground into the thicker part of the grass. He walked over towards the forest, grabbing some chains with hooks on them. He walked for maybe 5 minutes till he came upon a large oak tree. Smiling, Naruto simply held up his right palm before a large blue sphere formed. He cocked his arm back, stepping into the strike as he slammed the ball into the tree. Giant Rasengan. The tree's bark stood no chance as Naruto's technique cleanly burrowed through. However, rather than making it explode out, he maintained its shape so he could grind it along the tree to form the notch he needed. Finished, he walked behind the tree before jumping up and tucking his body in. "Wahoo!" he roared as he drop-kicked the tree with all of his might, causing it to fall towards the missing hole of the notch. Which soon made it fall complete over. Dusting himself off as he got up, he walked over to another large oak, repeating the process. This time however, he formed the Rasengan and blasted the tree down. Sighing, he stood there before the fallen tree and walked over to another. The trees themselves were much larger than the ones he had been cutting down before. Finished with the third one in an even faster motion, Naruto quickly hooked the chains deep into the bark of the trees before pulling the chain over his shoulder. Each tree had to weigh at least several thousand pounds, putting up some resistance for Naruto. The blonde slowly came walking into view of Jai and Aoi, who stared in awe of their brother. "Holy crap," Jai states as he watched Naruto drag the oak trees behind him. Naruto sighed, taking a seat on the ground as he stopped in front of the boys. "Alright you two, give me a minute woo I'm beat." Naruto and the boys were all hard at work while the girls inside were busy cooking. The groups each made their tasks up to standard, Naruto's standard at least. The girls had prepared some tea for the boys and some sandwiches as they attempted on dinner. The boys were all breathing heavily as they kept chopping against the axe. "Look on the bright side Jai, no chores for a whole week," Aoi said in between breaths. "I'm doing this for the swing set." Jai yells out as he kept pace with Aoi despite being younger. Dukang actually had the ground dug up where Naruto thought he'd stop, but the blonde smiled when the boy kept going. "Doing good Dukang." Naruto calls out as he stops chopping, "When you're finished head in and take a bath." Dukang smiled, nodding as he spoke up. "Sure papa." Dukang, the innocent 5-year-old, didn't catch what he said. However, Naruto just stood there, feeling a pang in his heart. Chuckling a little bit, Naruto looked at his sketch on his drawing pad that he carried with him all day. The ground being dug up for the garden was coming along. Now, if he can figure out a way to get the river to run closer to his home. "Who needs bulldozer when I am the bulldozer?" Naruto summarized in his plan with gusto, creating a chibi version of himself using the Rasengan to dig a trench to flow water into. Plus, it rained a lot, making the effort minimum at best. However, his thoughts went back to the recent job he did, as powerful as he was he knew that the girl he had fought was also powerful. Sighing, he didn't mean to put the fear of God in her, but he made sure to have her stand down before he escalated things. He never ever wanted to use his full power again. Clearing his head, he watched as his family toiled before looking up at the sun. Putting 2 fingers into his mouth, he whistled loud. "Alright guys, that's enough for today. Come on, let's go have supper." Aoi and Jai let their axes fall onto the ground before they fell backwards. Naruto looked on, laughing as he went and picked both up and placed them under his arms. "Alright lazy fishes, I'm going to get you in." Naruto walked, spinning around every so often so Jai and Aoi could laugh. All the boys, now washed up, sat at the table as the girls came in as well. Lee was smiling brightly as well as Gamma as they handed out the food they made. Aka on the other hand, the resident spitfire, she simply held a bowl of burnt mac and cheese. The boys chuckled, making Aka blush as she put the bowl down with a thud. Naruto warmly smiled, patting her back. "Don't worry Aka, it's happened to me before, now come on let's get to eating." All of them sat down before Naruto let them get their plates first. Just leaving enough for him to make a small plate for himself. Smiling, he gladly picked up a bowl, putting some ramen into it. Gamma stutters as she starts to speak up. Thank you all for enjoying our food and being a family." Naruto was glad no one noticed, he had actually let a tear fall out this time. Chapter 3. Swallow dropped from a ceiling before dashing over into the shadows. He was sent on a scouting mission for a benefactor other than Roman for once, in fact Roman got the mission directly from the benefactor. If proven successful Swallow heard that he'd be getting more missions, and for 50,000 leans for just a basic scouting mission, this was golden. This flame temptress to Swallow, how far along are you in the prison complex? About the 3rd floor in, this place is locked tighter than I miser's purse miss, but they never bother sealing air ducts. Swallow said as he continued to sneak in the shadows, avoiding several guards. What am I looking for? The captured Franus by the name of Tyrion, he's a bit unhinged and most likely would be in a very heavily guarded solitary section of the prison rig. I'll be happy to throw in another 10 if you free him and get him to extraction. Just so I'm on the no basis, why is he even in here? Swallow questioned as he pressed against a door, before feeling of it was very cold. He committed 3 counts of first-degree murder, mostly on Schnee higher-ups, even targeted the Schnee's younger daughter before. Stopping as he opened the door, Swallow sighed as he looked around. Roger that he growls as little as possible before walking over to the computer monitors in the room he was in. Seeing them he looked at them before pulling a chip out of his pocket and placing a finger up against his ear. "Roman. About time you chimed in, what's up? Better not be screwing up this million lean job." "No, of course not." Swallow growls as he inserts the chip into the drive of the computer. "I'm needing you to hack in and see where exactly this bastard is." "Ooh, someone wake up on the wrong side of the unemployment line today. Just get it done." Swallow says as he watches the chip flash red before the computer screens turned red as well. He watched as his room's position flashed on a rather detailed map on the ship while Tyrion's flashed 2 levels below him. Directly below him. "Hot damn," Swallow chimes as he walks over to the room's door before placing his hand on it. Focusing, he slowly traced the inner lockings of the door, forcing the airlocks to compress and lock it. It broke the compressor mechanism as well, making this door unopenable without proper tools or explosives. Quickly finishing his task of sealing the door, Swallow walked over to a wall before grabbing a kunai from his belt. Jabbing it into the wall, the masked man slowly sliced an X mark into the wall. That about does it, and now for the easy part. Walking over to the middle of the room, Swallow crouched down before holding his right hand out. A loud screech filled the room as Swallow formed a Rasengan in his hand before expanding outwards into a giant Rasengan, just slightly wider than his body. Standing up, he cocked his arm back before slamming it into the flooring. Herring of metal, concrete and plaster filled the room as its flooring collapsed. As it did, the guards in the room below it all got outside in time before calling an alert over the radio. When one pointed their gun at Swallow who had another Rasengan ready to go, the masked man simply blasted him with wind from his free palm. The guard flew back against the wall before sliding down slowly, groaning all the way. His buddies came running towards him before they heard the airlock door slam shut with another gust of wind. Focusing, Swallow slammed the Rasengan onto the floor, causing it to burrow this time instead of blast through the flooring like the upper floor. Dropping into the hole that was made, Swallow ended up in a cell where a Franus man was laying in his bed. Tyrion, the man turned over to see the masked infiltrator, time to go get up. "I don't wanna," suddenly a tail lashed out and nearly stabbed Swallow in the head, "and you can't make me ha ha ha." Grabbing the tail, Swallow put his hand over his earpiece, "So this guy is batshit insane." "Yes, but if you need to knock him out, please do so." "With pleasure." Pulling the tail hard, Swallow turned as he sent Tyrion careening towards him before kneeing the man right in the sternum. The pain did the rest, knocking him out cold. Grabbing and draping the Franus over his shoulder, Swallow looked up. Jumping up with graze, he threw Tyrion through the hole first before catching him as he came up. Draping the man over his neck, he got a piece of wire out and tied both his hands in a hurry before looking up and running towards the wall in the room. Running on the wall, Swallow began to go upwards in a spiral using only momentum. As he slowed down his run, he perceived everything in slow motion as a red glow emanated from his mask's eyeholes. Forming Rasengan in both of his hands, he slammed his leftmost hand against the X-marked wall before making it blow the wall out. Several guards that were rushing down the hall suddenly had to stop as wall blew out from in front of them. They pointed their guns at Swallow, who emerged with Tyrion on his back before his Rasengan blasted from his hand and exploded in the middle of the group. The soldiers, blasted by the ball of energy, were careening into the walls as Swallow slid on his knees under them all. He had gravity crystal dust laced into the ball, making gravity negative for a mere moment and reverse it in the area. His aura shield prevented him from feeling the effects, and he could slide with a limp Tyrion on his back. The man's height difference added a bit humor since his shoes squeaked on the ground as he was being dragged. "I'm almost outside, where are you?" Swallow called out as he busted through sliding doors. Humming and hot, Neo watched those metal knights. Turning his head towards what Roman was talking about, Swallow stopped as he saw two metal knights running towards the chopper. These were the newer, more melee-oriented models. The MKMV, Metal Knight melee variants. And they were recently tested in combat against Grim. But, against a Swallow. Swallow dashed as fast as he could, pulling Tyrion's arms off his neck. He was at least 600 feet away. He grabbed the man's hands with both of his and the masked master spun around once. "Catch!" he screams as he throws Tyrion. Two Roman's common thugs looked at each other before Tyrion slammed into them. Roman saw the metal knights getting closer before looking at Neo and then looking at Swallow as he dashed as fast he could. Swallow waved his arms, a sign for them to get away. Roman hit Neo's chair several times as she started to pilot the bulwark away from the rig. Roaring out as he formed giant Rasengan in both of his hands, he blasted the bots with center mass hits. The blasts being so powerful it knocked the swords out of their hands and sent them careening off the platform. Swallow leapt, time moving slowly again as he kicked off a falling mech. Flipping forwards for momentum. Roman watched, stunned at the display, as Swallow grabbed the bar just under the doorway. Pulling up, Neo barely avoided a missile heading for them. Swallow growled before pulling himself into the bulwark and clapping both of his hands together. As he did, a hollow energy sphere formed inside of his palms which expanded as he pulled his hands apart. Several Rasengan began to form inside of the sphere, each screeching to life, before he blasted it forwards as several missiles were shot at the extraction team. The ball split open, allowing the several Rasengan within to form into bigger ones and distract the missiles good enough that all of them went for the decoys. Flying away, Swallow leaned against the door's entrance before looking over at Tyrion. "Bastard tried to kill me back there, should have just left him." "Why didn't you? Wasn't our job to extract high, idiot?" Roman growled as he looked at the scorpion Fraunus with disdain. "It's because she told him about the extra 10,000 leans, greedy, but winner chicken dinner." Tyrion suddenly spoke up as he leaned against the door on his side, chuckling. He looked right at Swallow. "You're pretty damn fast, kid, normally I split someone's skull open." Roman, Swallow says as the man gets into a batter's stance before knocking Tyrion back unconscious again. "Thank you." Naruto rushed as fast he could before vaulting over a kitchen chair. The blonde reached out with arms, barely missing Aoi as he ran from him. "Aoi!" Naruto shouts as he rolls forward before tripping the bow with a scissor kick. "Ah!" Aoi shouts out as he falls onto the carpet. "Dang it, you got me." "Yes, I did." Naruto sat up, "But what did I say about using kitchen chairs? Not to use them." Aoi chuckled as he rubbed the back of his head before watching Naruto chuckle as well. Both laughed as they punched each other's arms before looking around the house. "Can't believe Jai went nuts after completing the swings." Aoi comments as he gets up before stretching. "Pretty soon we're going to have a big home like you promised, big brother." "Yeah, I'll say, just give time to build a second floor to this thing." Naruto states in agreement. He ruffles the boy's hair as he gets up. "Then maybe, just maybe I can get things in motion to be home permanently." "I would love that, big brother, and then you could find a girl to bring home for once, but that's if you know." Aoi got awkward suddenly. "Well, if, what?" Naruto questioned him as he crosses his arms. "Well, big brother, if you like guys," Aoi yelped in pain as the older Fraunus smacked him on the side of the head. "I'm not, nor ever will I be, gay. Look, Aoi, I know you want a big sister and Dukang and Gamma want a mother. However, my job, brother, my job is very dangerous. If I lost focus on you all, for even a split second, I may not come walking through the door." Naruto told him, but then smiled as knelt, "But it's worth it for you all to be happy." "How long are you going to be home this time? Winter is almost here." Aoi sighed heavily. "Wouldn't your job allow you to be here for a lot longer now in the winter?" "I hope so, buddy, but I plan on being home all month this time around." Naruto told Aoi with a smile. "Besides, you're getting ready to run free, little kid." "Yeah, I passed my entrance exams, I'm reporting to Signal next year." Aoi bumped his fists in realization, "And then I can be a great and powerful hunter. Imagine it, bro." Aoi Uzumaki. "Greatest hunter to ever, and I mean ever to live." Wahahaha. Naruto laughed as leaned back, practically howling like hyena. "That's the spirit, no one can stand up to the force of your willpower if you always believe that you can do something." Make good grades when you get there and I'll teach you how to use your aura when you come home on breaks. Jai wants to go as well before Aoi says before sighing, but he failed his entrance exam. Wait, Jai had an entrance exam? Naruto questioned before realization hit him, oh yeah, you two were going to try and join in together. You've been too busy, so we just wanted to surprise you when we both passed and Jai failed. Aoi says as he looks down, giving a deep breath of sadness. You're probably mad at him, aren't you? No. Aoi turned to Naruto before watching him get up. I'm not mad, I'm damn proud of both of you. Does Jai think I'm disappointed in him? Aoi nodded. Then I'm going to set the record straight, come on, you should be playing on the swings too. Aoi smiled as he and Naruto walked out of the door. Aoi went running towards the swings they had made as family out of the oak, chain, and pieces of rubber Naruto scrapped. Naruto waited for Aoi to get over to the playground before yelling. Jai, come here, right now young man. Jai watched as the retired human child got up, walking, almost shuffling his way towards his father figure of a brother. Jai looked up at Naruto, who then nudged his head for him to head inside of the house, but when Naruto walked in and closed the door, Jai heard Naruto whimpering slightly. Naruto, Jai looks up at him, something wrong. I'm so sorry Jai. Naruto pulled Jai into a hug before tightly squeezing him. I'm so stupid man, I never noticed how big you gotten these past 3 years. Look at you, 12. Pretty big number for you ain't it, and you. Naruto looked right at his green eyes, and I'm such an idiot for not telling you how damn proud of you I am. Jai's eyes widened slightly before they too watered up. I'm so sorry I failed. No, Naruto wiped a few of the tears coming off Jai's face. Little brother, don't be sorry that you failed, did you learn new things? Jai nodded. Did you give it your all? He added in. Once again Jai nodded. Then don't you dare say you failed, because success comes from mistakes, that's how you get better at something. Naruto points out before ruffling the boy's hair. Even if you fail again, if you learn something, you still won out in the end because you're going to eventually beat it. Naruto and Jai allowed a pregnant pause to form before Naruto gave him a bright smile. Now, come on, we're going back outside to play all of us. Naruto states as he picks up Jai as if he was a small child and places him on his shoulders. Naruto was preparing food for the kids as all but one of the kids, Akka was standing next to Naruto as she tried to learn how to bake. Today's topic, cookies, chocolate and strawberry whipped icing cookies. Akka had furious look on her face as her batch came out, swollen, she just hanged her head in defeat. No matter how many times I try, I suck at this. She yells before dropping her pan by Naruto's perfectly made pan. Why even bother teaching me, I'm hopeless at this. Smacking upside her head was Naruto's reaction to the word hopeless. Look Akka, you're a spitfire. You've been a spitfire for the last 2 years, along with your twin sister being a bubbly goofball. However, don't ever say that word hopeless again. You're not hopeless, it's called learning, and Atlas was not built in a single day. But I can't bake, I can't cook, only thing I'm good at is punching. Akka smashed her fists tighter before sighing, I'm really am just and only just a spitfire. Naruto chuckled before kneeling down to face her, you're only as good you tell yourself to be. Quick question, if I said you weren't good at something would you try to prove me wrong? I guess if it's not baking then you must suck at punching. Akka's eyes lit up as she drew her hand back before smashing it against Naruto's shoulder, making the blonde let out a breath of air as he felt the impact. Oof, easy there tiger, that may have left a bruise. I just said I'm only good punching. Akka states as she crosses her arms, why would you question it? Why do you question my belief in you? Naruto asks her as held her chin up with a smile, don't doubt me when I say, I know you can do it because I know you can. Now let me try one of these. Naruto got up before taking one of the fluffed up cookies and taking a bite out of them. He had the taste before looking down at her, before looking over at his cookies. You said you couldn't bake. Akka looked away before hearing something slide into the trash can. She whimpered a little, realizing Naruto had thrown away cookies by the sound of it. However, when she looked back over she noticed that his pan was empty. I think your cookies are better than mine. He clutches the pan with both of his hands. Lady Akka, will you share your recipe please? Bowing, she never saw him bow to her before, then she smiled and wiped her nose in haughty manner. Well, big brother, it's nothing really, it's an Uzumaki family recipe. After everyone was done eating, slowly getting to bed as well, Naruto stayed up washing dishes. Sighing, he looked at a necklace hanging on the cupboard. It was a plain copper necklace with a swirl. Sighing, he was about to get back to it when a loud voice nearly made him break a glass. Whatcha doing? Naruto turned to see Lee, she was waving at him, a bright smile on her face. Cleaning. Naruto says as he scrubs the dishes he had, wanna help your brother out? Sure. She ran over to him before nudging him out of the way. You work way too hard anyway, move. Eh? Naruto looked at Lee as she began washing the dishes before smiling. I can clean these off in a jiffy, and I'll even make pancakes for you tomorrow morning. Lee states as she finishes many of plates in a rapid. Lee, you don't have to, you're my little sister, I'm the one supposed to be cooking. She turns over towards him, placing her fists on her hips before walking over to him. She surprised him by smacking him on the head. We're a family, we look out for each other, you dunce. Naruto stood there, before smiling, and then turning around. Lee, please make sure to turn the kitchen light off. I'm heading to bed. Sure thing, big brother, good night. She almost shouts, before humming a tune as she went back to cleaning. Naruto walked into his room, throwing off his shirt before climbing into his bed. Smiling, he covered only to feel someone hop into his bed. He watched Gamma climbed in with her own blanket, wrapping herself up, and she looked terrified. Monsters are trying to get me, big red eyes, she mumbles tiredly. Sighing, Naruto just reaches out to her and smiles. Don't worry little sister, big brother will protect you. Nodding, she buried her face into his open palm, cuddling it while falling asleep. However, she muttered a little thank you as she did. Naruto couldn't help it and smiled as he was brought back to a time where Gamma was him as a small child and his mother was himself laying right there. It was one of the few times where Naruto had turned away from Gamma as the little girl slept. He didn't want her to see him crying. Chapter 4. Swallow was quickly making his way through a building before sliding under a security gate as it started to close. Two guards came out, pointing their guns at him, but he spun around while sliding on his knees and tripped both. Coming to a stop, he got up, kicking one in the face and elbowing the other when he tried to tackle him. Backpedaling, he ran as fast as he could before coming around a corner and grabbing a gun off a solider who had been caught by surprise. Aiming the gun with one hand, Swallow fired the automatic weapon at a bulletproof window before watching it crack. Leaping and tucking in, he smashed right through the window. Being 5 stories high, he quickly reached into his pocket and slung a kunai onto the building, which had a strong fiber cable attached to it. Swinging and running along the building, Swallow dodged gunfire before leaping upwards off his swing. Somersaulting when he landed, he managed to jump over the security fence and made a dash for it as several vehicles came screeching towards him. Got the goods? Look, busy, call you back later. Swallow yells as he barely dodged a sword from a metal knight that came from his side. Spinning around, quickly forming a Rasen shuriken, he slammed the metal being as hard as he could to send it straight upwards. The metal knight flew up, exploding once the sphere started to become larger. Sucking his teeth, Swallow turned to see 2 high-rises building close to each other. Giant guard towers, quickly reaching down, he sprinkled fire dust onto his combat boots before dashing. A platoon of soldiers came into view, all of them pointing their weapons at him, but he just gave them a 2-finger salute as he started while kicking up the 2 buildings. Only to run headfirst into 2 huntsmen coming at him. They wore Atlas military gear, but by the way they were jumping over the roofs, Swallow could tell. Jumping over one of the huntsmen, Swallow turned and slammed his back heel into the other one. Knocking them out cold before they ever had a chance to fight back, he swore he heard the other shout a name. Watching as the other huntsman went to help his buddy, Swallow made a run for it before diving into an uncovered manhole. Report. Swallow slid to a stop before taking a deep breath. I'm good, got away. Did you get the computer chip? Do you have my money? Swallow questioned in return. Look Swallow, I know other guys are paying well, but brand loyalty is key. I got your money, besides from what I'm hearing we just ran afoul. Not my fault, you sent me on this suicidal mission anyway, but as long as you got my money I'm taking my 2-month vacation as planned. Swallow speaks as he slowly walks, and by the way really getting handled by a little girl. Don't bite the hand that feeds you, asshole. Yeah, whatever. Besides, how mad do you think they're going to be when we sell this thing to the White Fang? Swallow leaned up against a wall to catch his breath. I imagined my boss would be very pissed off. Swallow head snapped around, only to barely dodge Kusarigama that embedded itself near his head. Whistling, Swallow looked at the wielder of the weapon. She, by the shape of the body, was wearing similar clothing to him save they dark gray instead of navy blue. Since when do I have competition? I'm not interested in small talk, Temptress demands the chip. If you give it up, I'll spare you and even pay you generously for it. Scratching his chin, Swallow smirked under his mask. How much we are talking here? If it's below 60 take a hike. I'm 70. She states, even grabbing the man from her back pocket. My lady told me you were no different than any greedy being. That's so? Swallow asks as he reaches out for the money, but then pulls his hand back. I'm actually needing money from people I trust not to stab me in the back. You? She roared in anger as she twisted her arm and pulled the sickle from before out from the wall and toward Swallow. She smirked under her own mask, in the visage of a snake, but watched as Swallow merely caught the sickle while not even looking. Oldest trick in the book miss, something I've long since grown immune to. She twisted her other weapon around, forming a machine pistol in her hand before firing a couple of shots off. Swallow spun around, easily avoiding the shots before dashing backwards. She quickly followed Sweet, which made smirk. She's not half bad, wait I didn't avoid one of those bullets why did it? Swallow stopped before thrusting his palm forward and caught the feeling of connecting to something. A yelp was heard, followed by a depression being made into a wall just across from him. Slowly, the girl giving chase to him faded away, replaced with the actual girl in front of him. Still dressed in the same clothing, he chuckled as he crossed his arms. Interesting, clone. None of your damn business, she growls, arming both of her weapons and pointed them at him, last chance cowboy. Ah, my god, you remind of someone. You're quite the spitfire aren't you, seriously though, can't you just step aside I really don't want to hurt you. Swallow began joking only to turn serious in his tone, he then formed two Rasengan in both of his hands. Let me assure I'm quite capable doing that. Switching from her guns, she spun both of Kusarigama. Try me. Well come on, I'm waiting. Swallow taunted as he took a step forward. Sorry to say, but I'll be walking away today. Yeah. She screamed as she threw both sickles at him. Swallow dodged to the left, spinning around before throwing both his Rasengan at her. The girl spun around before pulling her blades back. Both were surprised when the other both skipped across the water, she fired off a couple of shots, only to watch him block it with a barrier. Pingong maybe, clown smartus. She chuckled, he chuckled, before both got serious again. Well this certainly put a twist on things, shame I got to kill someone skilled in aura manipulation. Hey now, I was only to knock you out. Swallow pointed out, not keeping a serious tone. But seriously. He watched as she pulled back on the handles, only to get stunned when he jumped up and slammed his feet into the ground. Holding down her blades, where she looked up from to him. How? I didn't survive this long on luck, though I'll give it 3/4 of the reason why I'm still trucking. Grinding his foot into the weapon, he put his hand behind head. So, got an aim? You? She growled but relaxed when he didn't start immediately attacking her. Swallow. Swallow merely answered, and no I mean the bird. Sputtering, who would have thought otherwise Dumbus. She growled and grinded her teeth under her own mask. They both then spoke at ramen. Yeah, you'd think having a mute lady like Neo would keep him in check, nope. Swallow said. Hey, we can, hear this, you get back to stabby and racin' what the hell ever. Alright, fine. Swallow sighed, sorry I'm supposed to get going. Oh, not with the chip. She held her hand out, come on help a fellow thief out here Nah, Swallow turned around, only to avoid a gunshot, okay that was smart, you had a third gun. Don't toy with me, I'll splatter your brains against the wall. She yelled, chip hand now please. Okay, calm down Vegeta. Swallow appeared in front of her, making her stumble backwards. Wouldn't wanna spook you. Bastard she growls, getting up before pulling out a friggin' grenade. Wow oh, holy see crap. Swallow holds his hands out, calm the hell down. You'll collapse this Atlas made sower on us, come on you know they go to the Schnee for construction, you know how cheap and unreliable this is. Then you think I'm going to just not have a bargaining chip? She inquires as she crosses her arms, still holding the grenade. Bargaining chip no, I mean kind of, but I'll be out of here. You meanwhile, probably or probably not, crushed paste. Understand? Swallow asked as he looked right at her. My stars are shining bright, I'm flying through the night and I can't get enough of this happy light. I swear I'm going to kill her, Swallow takes out his scroll, mind if I get a second? You got 30. The other masked figure said as she tapped her foot in time to the seconds. Hey, it's your boss and my boss, on conference call Swallow took a deep breath, the hell Roman. Switching it to speakerphone mode, the voice of Roman blasted into the sower. About time I got a hold of you, listen Swallow don't kill or harm Street Rat there she's a player for our new business partner. We got made, so we're kind of in a forced alliance right now. I'm telling you right now I better be getting paid or none of you is getting the chip. Swallow states before looking at Street Rat and you don't say a word I'm kind of ticked off right now. Excuse you? Street Rat yelled only to have Swallow put his hand up. Alright, listen, you're to escort Street Rat to the docks. We'll rally with you there, all of us, since our new partner Cinder is calling for a bit of team meeting. Neo will arrive in submarine, and yes, we've got one finally don't start jumping for joy seriously, don't Atlas subs are a pain in the ass to navigate around. Before Swallow could speak Roman cut the call, damn it, he turns to see Street Rat arrogantly holding out one of her hands. Nah, he didn't say hand it to you he said escort you, so let's move. If looks could kill, Swallow would be 12 feet under. Swallow had his feet propped up on a table, leaning back in a chair. So, what you're saying is that Roman over there folded his cards? Pretty much. A beautiful woman said as she sat ladylike on the seat across from Roman. Neo was sitting there, a glare shooting between her and Roman. She didn't like this little partnership. A happy Neo is a good Neo, a sad Neo is a depressing Neo, and an angry Neo is the devil. Right now, she was tipping on 9.1 on the anger scale. Any higher it'll be like the cake factory incident. Swallow still shudders at the idea of that happening. All because someone, somewhere, probably overworked as well messed up a single banana moon pie. No one died, thanks to Swallow, but Neo leveled the building to the ground. Funny thing, a girl with a rocket launcher is someone more fierce than a god. Swallow looked at Neo, a chibi version of her in his head, beating the woman's chibi form's head in, with an oversized hammer came to mind. It wasn't a pretty sight either. Anyway, so you must be the famous Swallow of Vale, the thief that possessed power unrivaled. The beautiful woman says as she lets her gaze fall onto Swallow. The rumors are seemingly true, and what Roman has been telling me too. A greedy man, but compassionate enough to use his power to lay down enemies instead of putting them down. I never liked killing, Swallow answers as he relaxes more, and the reason why I spare people is because they've got a family somewhere who wants them home. So quaint, but an honest man as well. She says with a slight sultry voice into her words, maybe if you're not busy later wanna get a drink. I don't drink, Swallow got his feet off the table, and I'm not interested, don't have the time. Oh my well Swallow, you may know me as Flame Temptress, but I'm Cinderfall. I work for a powerful benefactor, one who wishes not to be named now, until we come to trust each other, instead of trying to sell each other under the table. She glared at Roman as she said this, but alas greed is why we're in this situation in the first place. So, how much was Roman paying you for this job? 60, answered Swallow, 60,000. Then 60 you shall receive, well earned, I'm sure you met Emerald here. Cinder motions to the girl in the background as she walks up, she was for the better part stunning. Beautiful red eyes, green hair that was like lime, a round face with a good physique. That's all Swallow could see before he realized something, so you're the girl behind the snake mask, street rat. The girl puffed up in anger. I'm not a street rat, I'm the best thief to ever live since Cheyenne of Mistral. Emerald Sustry, and oh yes I'm the girl behind the mask and still kind of mad how you figured out my attacks. She crosses her arms, and here you are an oaf using a table for a leg stand. Ha. Swallow pointed at her, seriously a spitfire. Anyway, what's the saying, to the victor goes the spoils. I can oaf around all I like. But that, now that you've seen her face it's only courteous to reveal yours. Cinder stated as she looked at Swallow. Nah, sorry, but my face horrible. I have scars across it over my eyes, in fact in a botched operation I lost my eyelids. I'm really ugly under this thing, missing teeth as well. Neo and Roman looked at each other as they heard Swallow spoke, besides a good infiltrator leaves no trace, not even to associates. Smart man, I can understand that, just in case someone wants to stab you in the back, there's no way for them to know where you went. Cinder realizes what he meant by it, but I highly doubt you're that ugly. Maybe I am maybe I'm not, but seriously what's the deal with her trying to kill me? Swallow pointed to Emerald, she's actually quite good. I taught her myself, Cinder chimes in, is my teaching effective? Been a while since I had a tricky opponent. Everyone else just runs headlong into a fight without a plan. Swallow praises, and I know I look like I'm calling the kettle black here, but there's always a method to my madness. Well then, gentlemen and ladies I think we're well acquainted. So, here's my proposal, everything we take and get money from we'll give you a 30% cut on. In exchange, your infiltrator there is partnered with my own in joint ops, with Swallow taking leadership. Cinder offered as she leaned on her elbows, and you Neo my rather dashing lady getting control of some high-dollar equipment, maybe even a new umbrella. With gifts come stipulations. What makes you think I won't stab you in the back? Roman states, this offer sounds too reasonable for our to be equal to yours. It's because of good faith and the fact that if you should betray me I'll kill you personally. Cinder held out her hand, forming a glass dagger with inside of it, and trust me when I say this I can make death very welcoming. Swallow got up before sighing. I agree to all but one stipulation, I run solo. Yes, and 2 separate thieves are better than 1 emerald agreed. No, Cinder states, you two will work together on these ops. Simply for one reason is that you have a job and get to breathe Swallow, and you need training Emerald. What better training than to come from a master? As flattered as I am for you calling me a master, I seriously doubt you'd be able to even touch me, so keep the threats on the low-key level. Swallow hissed as he glared at Cinder, because I assure you I can disappear easily. I'm sure you could, Cinder retorts with a chuckle, which is why you shouldn't put much stock in my threats against you. However, those two may have a little tougher of a time. Not my problem. Swallow says as he looks at Roman and Neo who glare at him, but I can vouch for Neo that you don't want to take her one. Why's that? Cinder asks. Oh, God's everything is on fire, why? Swallow shuddered slightly, I've got my own experiences. Naruto woke up inside of his bed, finding it empty, sighing he got up. Snow pelted against his window, noting the light, it must have been noon. Sighing, Naruto put on his clothing before walking out to see his family all gathered around and watching TV. Hey guys, Naruto took a seat next to Gamma who was laying on the couch with a red face, you all doing okay? Yeah, Aoi said, Gamma is sick though. Hey? Naruto looked down to see Gamma who was shivering slightly, oh poor thing. Naruto got up, going into his room to get his thermal blanket. He dragged out the pale blue blanket and walked over to Gamma to where he picked her up gently and wrapped her in the fabric. You're freezing Gamma, you going to be okay? Gamma nodded her head, yes brother. Okay then, if your fever doesn't break tomorrow morning I'll take you to the doctor, want some chicken broth? Gamma nodded and Naruto got up. The blonde young man walked over to the stove, putting on a pot and getting some cans out filled with chicken broth. Aoi walked over towards Naruto, pulling on his sleeve, what is it Aoi? Big brother can we go outside and play in the snow? Aoi asked, we'll watch over Dukang. You all can, Dukang should stay inside too, he's little like Gamma alright. Aoi nodded before looking at everyone else. Me and Jai versus Lee and Aka. He asked them. Yeppers you're on. Let's do this Aoi. Naruto watched as they ran to get their winter clothing on, he sighed and used his aura to make the broth come to a boil faster. Sighing, smelling it, he added some salt and pepper before pouring some into a coffee mug. Walking over to Gamma, Naruto sat by the girl before holding her in his lap. Here, sip. Gamma nodded, she slowly suckled on the edge of the cup, the hot liquid returning some color to her face. Finished with her fist sip she snuggled against Naruto before resting. Dukang was busy painting, Papa Naruto, is Gamma going to be alright? Yeah, Naruto says with a smile, she'll be just fine Dukang. Do me a favor, go and get yourself a cup as well. Chicken broth has a lot of healthy nutrients in it, it's best you keep your immune system up. Dukang nodded, getting up and going to get him a cup. Sighing Naruto brushed Gamma's hair with his fingers before humming a little tune. Chapter 5. Naruto, Aoi and Jai were all sitting outside in the snow. Naruto and the boys were sitting Indian style, with their legs intertwined with each at the ankle. Naruto and the boys each had their knuckles together before a blue light gathered around Naruto. Alright boys, this is called aura, life energy. Naruto says as he opens his eyes, this is what I'm going to help you unlock today. Aoi and Jai looked at their brother, mesmerized at the swirling and humming energy around him. Wow amazing it feels so warm. Jai said touching Naruto's glowing arm. Aura comes in many colors, but the color of an aura isn't significant to how power it is. Training and diligence matter the most when it comes to usages of aura and growing it. Meditation, almost daily, can increase your pools vastly. Naruto instructs them before getting out a knife and with aura. Brother. Jai and Aoi scream as Naruto sent the knife at his neck, only to watch the blade snap and leave a small scratch where he should have been bleeding profusely. And, with aura, you gain not only the glow but the shield to go with it. This style of aura usage has many names, I call it in the old language from Mistral, May. May is the first usage of aura I learned as a kid, younger than you too, and it's one of the basics. The word May means defense, and it's self-explanatory to what you just saw. Naruto explains to them while they still wore slack-jawed faces, with this defense you basically almost invulnerable to direct damage, so long as you have aura. How come you have a scratch then? Jai pointed out. Pressure, it's energy armor, but you'll still feel the force and pressure from something hitting you. You see it's like this, if you hit me with a bat I won't suffer any true physical damage, but damage to my aura and pressure will still cause a much minor injury than a broken jaw or head. Naruto knocked on his temple jokingly. Though don't get any ideas. Can you shape aura? Aoi questioned. Yes, that form of practice is called katachi, or form. Which is what I was about to explain. Katachi is translated from the old language to form, like I just said. Practicing katachi isn't no different than mediation, however think of it as a form of yoga when we get to it. Because, form practice is the process of moving aura around your body to specific points to increase durability in the area or strength. Naruto explained katachi as he formed a Rasengan in his hands by opening his palms. So, does that mean Rasengan is just a technique as well? Aoi questioned some more. Yes, but it's the highest katachi technique I've ever made. It sounds simple enough, focus aura into your palms, form it into a bowl with rotation, but it's far from simple. You may not realize it, but the Rasengan is difficult to form. You see katachi practices control and balance, too much aura in one aura and you'll bleed off. Meaning, you'll just be wasting tremendous amounts for no reason, too little, and you might as not have any. With Rasengan however, too much can make it explode and too little just makes it fade. Naruto emphasizes as he explains by expanding the Rasengan until it started to become malformed before letting go of the aura controlling it, which made it fade away. Combining Mei and Katachi is forming Kata Mei, defense control. Naruto clapped his hands and made an energy barrier come around them, which gives you the ability with practice form high dense forms aura into barriers. Can you use it for attacking? Jai questioned this time and smirked when Naruto nodded. Hand's eye is the form of offense, basically it's channeling aura to your feet and fists, or muscles. It's one of the things you saw me do when I was dragging the trees, that is a form of hand's eye using my aura to just increase my strength. Your strength is only limited to how much control you have in form, using both in conjunction is called kata hand's eye. My Rasengan is a form of kata hand's eye. Naruto explained as he got up, you two, stay seated I want to show you something. Naruto cupped both of his hands together, interlocking them. Kata hand's eye meaning form offense is powerful if you have very good control in Katachi. Focusing, they watched as wide energy seeped into his palms, but only after have you mastered Katachi can you truly bring the best of yourself out. The screech was heard. Naruto opened his palms, resting inside of it was a miniature Rasen shuriken. This is called Kata Sashi, form element. Sashi is a style that basically allows you to channel your aura into higher forms, grinding against each other forms wind, shaking it rapidly forms fire, and you get the meaning. Kata Sashi is used by very few, but very skilled people. Out of all the hundreds of hunters in the world, maybe only 50 can use what I'm about to show you. Naruto cocked his arm back, you see that tree right there? The boys nodded. Naruto threw the miniature as hard as he could, it soon grew the blades longer, and before reaching the tree, it screeched to life. The tree was then bisected by the ball of bladed energy, whining as it hit the ground with a large thud. Aoi and Jai were still sitting on the ground, looking on in amazement as Naruto just kept a calm but serious look. Kata Sashi is very difficult, very dangerous, and very unstable. It takes years of practice to even begin taking form, but once it does, you'll be unbeatable. Are you going to teach us Kata Sashi? Aoi asked, hoping the answer was yes. No. Both boys looked at Naruto with surprised faces. What? Why not? Jai yelled as he got up, you can't just show us something so cool and not tell us you're going to teach us. Kata Sashi can't be taught, it can only be found, everyone has a different affinity involving it. Some people have fire, some people water, some lightning, some wind, but you have to master Katachi before you ever find it, and even then, it's in desperation. Naruto became solemn as he clenched his hands before sighing, I can teach you Katachi, but that's about how far I'll even be able to take you. I understand big brother, Jai held his head low, just wished we could do that. You may be able to, depends on what your affinity is one day revealed to be. Naruto smiles as he walks over to them, before motioning for them to sit down. Now let's begin meditation. Naruto stood under a moon, feeling looking up at the broken celestial body, before sighing. It was cold, cold like that night, the night he lost his entire family. The blonde-haired teen just sighed as he slowly walked back into the house, looking at Akka and Lee as they both slept. He felt very uneasy, before looking at his hands. Staring at them, he was brought back to a memory, a dark horrible memory. Mother, father. The young blonde Frona screamed as a giant grim smashed into the village around them. The giant grim was like a bipedal dragon, moving across the landscape slowly, breathing fire across the village as it walked. The young blonde watched as a man and woman dropped down in front of him, Naruto, go, go. His father shouted, the blonde-haired man forming a Rasengan in his hands before throwing it at the creature. Where's the reinforcements from Chief Gira? A red-deeded woman asked as she threw her own at the creature that was leveling their home, shouldn't they be here? The damn Elder Grimm destroyed the fleet before coming ashore. Minato yelled before looking at Naruto who was still there, why are you still here, I told you to leave. Minato was crushed as building came flying towards them, his blood splattered across Naruto, who stood there shaking. His mother, the red-deeded woman, stood there shaking. The roar came, the roar of hell, the roar of a demon, she looked up to see the monster slowly making its way towards them. Father. Naruto screamed as he formed a Rasengan in his hands before throwing it, his eyes blood red as he chucked the ball into the air. The ball of energy smashed into the head of the beast, but it just walked unaffected. Kushina his mother watched as the beast got closer. Naruto run. She screamed as she threw the boy to the side, only for a torrent of green and bluish flame to wash over her soon afterwards. Mother. Naruto screams as he watched his mother get burned alive, he crawled into a destroyed building, hiding and clutching himself as the giant Grimm slowly walked by. It was too focused on the fleeing humans it saw running to be bothered with a child. The rubble shifted before something knocked Naruto out cold. Waking up, Naruto found himself still alive in the rubble, slowly he crawled his way out. Noting the village's destruction, he shook as he heard no one. Shuffling forwards, almost falling into the giant footprints the monster left behind, Naruto came upon the scene of his mother's charred body and his father's crushed form. Collapsing to his knees, Naruto sobbed as he rocked back and forth. Stifling screams until one escaped, another and another soon followed. Anguish took hold, his 10-year-old body racked with many emotions. Guilt, pain, suffering, anger, hatred. Slowly but surely the sobs stopped until they became growls. Pounding his fists into the dirt, Naruto screamed before lurching upwards as a power washed over him. A power he never felt before. He noticed something as well. The beast was still there. It still was there. It looked like it was making a home out of his village. It was looking right at Naruto. Naruto's eyes, blood red, his aura overflowing into a wild flare of burning emotions and pain. He cupped his hands before looking at the body of his dead parents. Naruto looked right at the monster before wind began to form around him. All the memories of his father training him in Katachi, his mother caring for him when he was sick. All these memories of him being a happy child, having a happy family, and then this giant bastard coming to take it all away. It wouldn't be unanswered. It couldn't just go unanswered. He wouldn't allow it to go unanswered. Die. Naruto screamed as he spun around, launching the massive Rasengan that had formed in his hands, but heard a screech as he looked up and saw it growing blades. The massive aura and wind began to flare outwards as it reached the monster eyes widened as it came towards him. He could hear the boy screaming. He was hungry, he was wanting a snack. Instinctively, through years of superiority, the beast was going to tank this attack and then move in for the kill. Only, when it felt the blades tear into its body did it realize its foolishness. Its blood sprayed out before the beast's head was engulfed in a sphere of pure wind, shredding it apart. Die. Naruto screamed as he threw another, and another, another and another. Each with it carrying a happy memory, a memory that'll never be experienced again. He was swinging to them wildly, some even missing their target completely. The only thing he could feel was the unyielding hatred inside of his heart, burning to a point where it finally caught fire. Naruto woke up, sweat rolling down him as he shook his head. I know I didn't kill it, I just wished I did. Naruto held his hands out in front of him, if I had the powers I have now back then. Naruto got up before slowly walking towards the bathroom to get ready for the day. There, he looked at himself, seeing his mother and father both standing beside him briefly. Are you proud of me? Do you wish I didn't lead the double life I lead? What would you do in my shoes? Sighing, Naruto walked over to his clothes, putting them on before walking towards his door. Opening it, Naruto saw that everyone was still asleep. Slowly walking and silently he made his way towards the girl's room. Opening the door slowly, he went over to where Gamma was and felt her forehead. She was still burning up. Sighing, Naruto picked her up. She awoke mumbling a little bit but soon fell back asleep. She was weak and tired. Along with being sick, those were not good signs at all. Especially in Faunus. Placing her on the couch, Naruto got out his scroll from his shirt's pocket and called AM. Hello, hey AM, sorry to wake you up, but I need a big favor. I'll even pay for the time. Gamma here is sick and I'm needing to take her to the doctor. I need someone to watch the kid. Sure, oh sure, I'll there in about half an hour. How bad is she? She's thrown up few times before going to sleep. Her trash can had some bile in it, so she threw up overnight. She's running a pretty high fever and coughing, poor thing. Okay, I'll be on my way. How long do you think you'll be gone? About a few hours. Okay, I'm going to get Aoi up and tell him to answer the door when you get here. I'm just going to beat the morning rush there. That's fine. Naruto smiled, thanks sis. He hung up as he walked into the boys' room and nudged Aoi. Aoi, get up, I need you to watch for AM. I'm heading into the city with Gamma to get her a doctor, please watch for her. Aoi eyes fluttered as Naruto spoke, stretching, he soon got up. Sure thing big brother, go take care of little frog. Aoi said, stretching, before watching Naruto reach into his wallet. This is for AM. Naruto walked out of the room before poking his head back in, get Jai up as well. Aoi gave a salute before looking at Jai and walking over to him. Well, Mr. Uzumaki, you're very right to have brought her in today. She's suffering from acute lung disease, or ALD. It carries flu-like symptoms. It's common in amphibian-type faunus in the winter. It's not very fatal either, but still carries the chance. Though that's like 5 out of every 10,000 cases, and even then, those are the people who didn't seek treatment whatsoever. The doctor tells Naruto as he continues to read over the charts, looking on as Gamma rested with her arms wrapped around him. You're very young to be a father. The doctor comments offhandedly, but I doubt that's the case, sibling. Adoptive, but she calls me Papa sometimes. Naruto comments and strokes her green hair. So, what's the treatment for it? Well, we're going to start a round of antibiotics and I'm going to give her an immunobiotic booster shot to help her immune system fight off the infection going on. She'll be herself within a month at least, and maybe 2 at worst. Just make sure she gets plenty of water, warm water preferably to help relax her throat. Tea is also good if it's made with cordyceps and licorice herbs, but not too much. The herbs will help relax her and keep her calm. The doctor told him before writing the prescriptions. Okay, Naruto took the paper once it was handed to him. How much I owe you? About 3,500 in total, but I bill it to you later, it is the month of giving after all. The doctor chuckled, I may even forget. The medicines will run you almost 5,000 though pharma companies don't forget. Thank you Dr. Shizune, I'll make sure to get you something for end of the month gift festival, how's Dr. Tsunade? Shizune, the doctor chuckled at the mention of her mentor's name. Still drinking gambling. She told him. Same old, Naruto questioned. Pretty much, she watched him roll his eyes, tell her if another collector comes after her that I'm just standing on the sidelines. Will do, Shizune chuckles, anyway take care of Gamma there will ya? Naruto walked into the house with Gamma clutched around him, sighing, he smelled food as he walked her into the girl's room. Hey Am. He called as he quickly passed, before opening the girl's room. He laid Gamma down, covering her up, she snuggled against her bed before quickly falling asleep. The 3 pills she had to take all had the same side effects, and that was weakness and tiredness. So, Naruto didn't pay too much heed to how quickly she asleep. He looked over at Lee and Akka who playing on their little handheld game, hey make sure you give an ice pack every 3 hours please girls. Will do. Akka waved him off, but she seemed slightly off he didn't know why. Walking into the kitchen, Naruto found Am hard at work cooking, you didn't have to cook you know I was going to be back in time. Oh, come on Naruto you're overworking yourself again, besides if you're going to pay me then I'll at least cook you all dinner. Am states while cooking, I got an oven roasted chicken in the oven by the way, I went and got it earlier, Aoi was a drooling mess Naruto. She turned around to see Naruto sniffing the air, slightly drooling himself. Shaking her head, no wonder why he does it and I wonder who he got it from. Hey. Naruto yells playfully, I'm not that bad. When do you go back to work? Am questions as she kept cooking. Another month from now, why? Am turned to him, smiling. You're getting a very late birthday gift, I'm buying you a hotel room in the city for a weekend and giving you time away. Naruto reeled back in surprise. Naruto yells, Am you don't have to do that I'm fine, really. You say that now, like everyone else, but eventually you'll crack under that pressure. So take the gift, shut up, and get ready to enjoy dinner. Naruto smiles at Am and Akka well if you noticed she's been acting weird. Yeah, she was totally dismissive when I asked her to get an ice pack for her sister, she usually jumps right on it. Naruto looked, still seeing no Akka. Well she's becoming a woman I know that, she's getting older all the time. And no Naruto, she's becoming a woman. Naruto stood there, before realizing what she said, and then sighed. Oh, lovely. Chapter 6. Amba was laying in Naruto's arms as she slept, her fever had finally broken. The blonde carrying the green-haired girl smiled as she rested peacefully inside of his arms, Rinchaku-han Ihanasai he cooed and singed lightly. This love, this attachment, I'll never let go, Naruto sang as he laid Gamma into her bed, tucking her in, before kissing the top of her forehead. Get well little frog. He smiled as he slowly crept out of the room. Am chuckled as she saw Naruto walk out of the room, before voicing her presence. I think it's rather cute that a powerful warrior like you becomes a singer now all you need is either. Oh ha 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 that was so funny. Naruto deadpanned as he stared at Am, before smiling. I really couldn't do anything around here for a full month without your help. Well, she got up from her leaning, what do you think about my offer? I can afford to close the shop for a few days, take care of my little nieces and nephews here for a little bit, even if some are troublemaking munchkins. Akka looked right at Am, glaring at the older woman, only for Am to stick her tongue out. Lee laughed at her twin sister, who stares away in embarrassment. Aoi was currently playing his new game, while Lee was trying on her new makeup. Jai was sitting there, he had several bruises where he had tried fighting Akka with his own sword and ended up getting beat up. Apparently, Naruto had a habit of finding Spitfire women and if not finding them, raising them. That's why he secretly hoped that Gamma would remain shy, conserved, and all around innocent. Honestly, he never thought about it prior to Aoi mentioning he had a crush on a girl, but now that Aoi was 13 and Jai 12 Naruto was faced with the reality of teaching dating. Which was a bit of a problem, because for all that he was worth and good at being the brother-father figure that everyone knew him to be. Dating? Dating was foreign to Naruto as the moon is as foreign to the sun. Could he take on master hunters? Yes. Could he take on monstrous Grim? Yep. Could he take 6 orphans off the street and raise them proper? It was going good so far. But, dating. Has he ever kissed a girl? Nope. Sex. There was an older woman that made a pass at him while he was dressed as Swallow after they had got done fighting, she seemed really obsessed with power even held hands with a girl. Not out of dragging her harm's way. So yeah, dating, it was probably the most important thing he forgot off his list. Learn how to raise kids, check learn the ultimate combat techniques to destroy opponents, that's a double check learn how to infiltrate and be the best thief bar none on remnant, can we get a triple check but, dating and marriage procreating intimacy, yeah, that's a big all X in the box. We're talking Chibi Naruto, taking a whiteboard the size of a 60-inch plasma screen TV and just drawing one big X across it. foolishly giving a thumb up before becoming all too aware at the pathetic meaning behind what this meant. Naruto couldn't date. Naruto was too busy, he was too overworked as is, and for the love of all holy twins, that if the girl he picked was a drama queen, he may look like a monk with a bald head. I think I'll have to pass. Naruto chuckles, and no offense AM, it's that I don't really like going out is all. Oh come on, you're young and supposed to live a little. AM argues, and if you don't I'll never babysit for you again. Naruto's world cracked before he looked at the one he considered a sister, the way one would look at terrifying monster. He weighed his options before sighing and holding out his hand, fine. The chibi AM was dancing for joy inside of her head before wondering what kind if any girl Naruto might bring home. His shy personality around women, plus his good looks and the kindness to Booty then looked at Akka who smirked a little. She was so glad she colluded with this little girl, 11 or not Akka was by far a genius for being a firecracker. There were indeed traitors inside of the Uzumaki household, traitors indeed and conspiracy. The blonde felt her shake his hand before she gave him a big smile. So, when would I leave? Tomorrow. She tells him, making him reel back. Eh? Such short notice, what about Gamma? Naruto complains and asks, she's still sick and I need to take care of her. Yes she's still sick and yes you will take care of her by entrusting her to me for a few days. AM crosses her arms, now come on, I'll get supper ready. You know for how much you come out here I could probably build a new section in the house to allow you to stay in it. Naruto jokes as he takes a seat but seriously thinking of adding a new section. Can we have a swimming pool? Akka asked. No. Naruto said before being glared at by Akka who puffed out her cheeks. She was spoiled, Lee was too, but at least she didn't get angry. The blonde sighed, leaning back in the chair as the familiar smell of miso ramen filled his nostrils. Now come to think of it, if AM was little younger, he'd may date her. AM looked over at him smiling, she secretly hoped he brought home a girl for once. So, AM, what do you think I should build? Naruto asks as he watched her place bowls around the table and the other children run in. You know Dukang likes to garden as well as Gamma, maybe build them a small greenhouse. Floriculturists are well sought after, plus Dukang does have a green thumb. AM suggests as she finishes by placing a bowl in front of Naruto. Yeah, I can't believe the snowberries came in so fast, it's like he just snapped his fingers. Naruto comments, while the shy boy looks away. If him and Gamma were siblings, it would be the perfect trio to opposites. The balanced. Aoi and Jai, the hyperactive firecrackers. Lee and Akka, and the shy guys. Dukang and Akka. Naruto last-eyed, he still had the team names for their volleyball teams for the summer when he planned on making a makeshift court. Naruto looked at his family before smiling, let us pray. Twins so dark and bright, twins of day and night, let us feast tonight. Thank you for the life you created, thank you for the food we are taking, let us find peace and balance. Amen. Aoi prayed out loud before he and Jai began to rapidly dig into their bowls. Naruto aren't you going to AM turned to tell Naruto to get his brothers under control, only to see him slurping down his noodles as well. Akka, Lee they were doing the same. Even shy little Dukang. Naruto hefted a large duffel bag over his shoulder before taking the armpiece and putting it over his shoulder. Alright, ready to go. All the kids, AM holding Gamma, gathered to see him off. Alright Naruto, you have fun and I'll look after the munchkins for a little bit. Naruto gave her a thumbs up before crouching down and bumping fists with Aoi and Jai. You two keep up with your meditation and if you unlock your aura just call me. Aoi and Jai nodded, Roger sure. Aoi gave his big brother a salute before walking behind AM, Jai gave a two-finger salute. The two oldest girls came walking up, both hugging Naruto at the same time. Dukang got his turn, lightly bumping fists with Naruto, while Gamma merely gave Naruto a hug. With that, the blonde stepped away from the home, waving them off as he walked. A city of Vale was a huge city, a capital city, and a city that buzzed with human and Franus life. Naruto wearing usual clothing was walking down a main road, this hotel he was going to was smack dab in the middle of the partying part of the city. Bars around every corner, nightclubs, strip clubs, legal brothels and probably so much alcohol that you could fill a lake. Music boomed on the road, the blonde watched as several cars slowly drove by, all of them high-dollar vehicles. Turning a corner Naruto came upon his hotel, slowly walking in he met with the front desk clerk. Uzumaki here for check-in. Uzumaki here you are. The man said as he grabbed Naruto's keycard. Your room is on the third floor, it's one of the upper suites. If you bring in a lady friend or a guy friend, please tap the keypad to let our staff know that you wish not to be disturbed. Okay, tell me if you're new to the party scene what clubs would you hit up? Naruto inquires, I'm not really in this part of Vale much. Well, kid, I'd hit Crow Bar, Moonlight Blossom, the Vernal Delights for a little after party fun, and then I'd probably get wasted at Sunlight Bar. The clerk tells him, Stardust Junction in Vale is pretty much a party lover's paradise. So, I take it Leo don't make a show around here? Naruto inquired. If you're into drugs don't worry too much, Leo barely come around here, but I'm looking at you right now, and I can tell you're no drug boy. The clerk states, so would you like me to take your bags up to your room so you can go party? My Naruto stuttered for a moment before smiling, yeah sure. Okay kid, go wild, just don't kill anyone. The clerk says as he takes Naruto's bag. Naruto was currently walking the road, looking at the bars and dance clubs near him. Nervousness took him, but he was going to try and have fun on the first night here. If the following nights were any good afterwards it'd be worth the trip. Step up one and all. He heard someone shout. Naruto walked over to the source of noise, coming to a scene of a ring and an announcer. This here is the battle's own, 2 fighters place bets and one walks out with the other's money. The fight ends with your opponent knocked out, no lethal weapons or moves. Come one and come all. Hello entertainment. Naruto smiled as he jumped up before landing in the ring. We've got our first volunteer of the night. Hey Sonny, what's your name and how much you are betting? The announcer inquired. My name is Uzumaki Naruto and I'm betting 10,000 leans. Naruto gave his scroll to the man who scanned it, the blonde crossed his arms when he took his scroll back. 10,000 leans. Ladies and gentlemen, this young man right here is wanting someone to come and beat him up, any ladies or gentlemen out there want to take up the offer? Aura users, martial artists, gangsters. The announcer calls upon the crowd, who wants some? Naruto watched a woman jumped from the crowd, she had a very familiar face, in fact. Oh crap Naruto nearly palmed his face, it was that woman from a while ago that offered a good time. Oh well, she doesn't know about me being swallow, so it'll be a good for a round 2. Your name madam? The announcer inquired as he held up the mic to the woman. The woman just remained silent but held her scroll out, which was 20,000 leans. Naruto eyes widened a little bit but smirked, doubling up on me eh? Silence. Alrighty, Naruto brought his arms to his side, I'll raise mine to 20,000 too. 40,000 lean. The announcer screamed. When do we start? The woman inquired, finally breaking her silence. When the buzzer goes off. The announcer calls, you'll have 10 minutes to knock each other out, failure to do so means the winner is judged by the crowd. I don't usually play something in the middle of the chapter, but listen to DPS Ost. Death match with Frieza extended it sets the fast-paced fight. Naruto stretch, before dropping down into a fighting stance with both his hands out in front of him and a boxing stance. The woman did the same, albeit she had a much looser stance. No sooner than she got into her stance the buzzer ranged, and much to Naruto's surprise, she allowed him to make the first move. Which he gladly did, running full sprint before somersaulting over her. The woman followed him with her eyes before turned on her heel, kicking him in his forearms when he brought them up to block. The force of the kick slid him back a little bit, making the crowd murmur. He countered by dashing, delivering a flying kick into her own forearms which sent her back as well, albeit a little further. Not bad she murmurs, I guess you're not all flash and no show. Honestly, I was surprised by your power as well. Naruto white lied as he rubbed the back of his head, leaving himself wide open. She took this opportunity and dashed at him before being caught off guard when leaned backwards and turned to deliver a powerful roundhouse into her side. She went airborne for a moment before correcting herself and dashing right back at him. Naruto and she began to both block and punch at each other, kicks being thrown in every so often. The blonde wasn't even breaking a sweat and neither was she, this is a fun fight. Fun? She inquires, are you not taking me seriously? A little, Naruto says as he catches her elbow when she attempted to elbow his face, but I think you need to get serious. Naruto flipped over, but she dragged off the ground as well and then thrown into the air about 10 feet. Naruto watched as she angled herself before landing gracefully back down where she dropped into a new fighting stance. Her hands now open-palmed, her feet wide spread apart. Naruto smirked as she charged this time, easily avoiding 2 kicks aimed at his head before finally getting a clean hit on her by punching her in the stomach. Which made her grimace slightly in pain, only to for her feel Naruto's palm slam into her chest and knock her back. I know that technique from somewhere she analyzed as she watched Naruto stand still before gripping her fists. It must be coincidence. Naruto and she charged at one another, much to the crowd's awe and pleasure, both slammed fists into each other's faces. Naruto smirking all the while before kicking her away from him. Both using aura to minimize the damages received, she smirked, her gaze falling to a single lightly bleeding cut on Naruto's lip. Wiping his lip, Naruto chuckles, that was a great punch guess I got to get serious. Naruto closed his eyes, she took this opportunity to charge, only to stop when he opened them to reveal red eyes with slit like her eyes. She tensed for a moment, sensing that his aura had doubled from before, she smirked and felt anger rush into her. Her own aura doubling in its strength. Sorry sir, but we're about to destroy a ring. Naruto said as he looked over at the announcer. You better not. He screams, hey kid, look out. Naruto didn't even have to look as he caught a punch by the woman before he spun on his heel and attempted to kick her. He was mildly surprised when she deflected the kick and landed a clean hit on his stomach. Going to the ground, Naruto rolled backwards, watching her stomp her foot through the wooden flooring of the boxing-like ring. Naruto dashed, delivering a series devastating punches on her stomach, chest, and face. She in turn did the same thing, both going back and forth as her eyes started to glow red as well. Yah! Both screamed as they collided with their right fists. Aura bursts from them on impact before Naruto took a large step forward, sending his other fist into her jaw. A large sound emanating from the hit, sending her backwards and nearly out of the ring. She got furious, and Naruto felt her aura double from before. Yeah, this is definitely her. The only way I won the last time was when I managed to catch her off guard with a Rasengan weight. She's a Katachi master, she won't think anything of an opponent using aura. Gah, I'm such an idiot for letting this fight play out so long. Naruto held out his right palm, enough, let's end this. The woman nodded, forming a sort of aura-like blade from her hand, let's. Naruto formed a Rasengan, judging by her look, she didn't seem to know what this was. She really shouldn't because of the fact he hit her from the back with it and never announced it. She and Naruto charged at each other. Hollow Blade Rasengan. Their attacks met, screeching upon impact, before Naruto's attack grinded past hers. She however, surprised him and turned around to elbow him across the face. Naruto was sent to the ground but then angled himself to where he sent a foot onto her stomach painfully hard. Coughing up, the woman fell to a knee. Getting up, both began to rapidly punch at each other, mostly scoring glancing blows until she caught Naruto and punched him in the eye. Reeling back, Naruto used this momentum to spin around and slam his foreleg into the backside of her leg. Airborne once more, her eyes widened, so strong. How to hands I art. Tiger Mountain Press. Naruto yells as he slams his palm in her stomach before making her fall to the ground only to have a portal open behind her. Stumbling forwards, his senses all blaring warnings as she came out behind him and he quickly reached behind him to grab her leg before twisting around to throw her across the arena. Running at her, Naruto jumped up and delivered 3 successive kicks onto her guard right forearm before twisting and delivering an axe kick onto her shoulder. Which popped it out of place, growling out, he landed behind her before throwing his elbow back. Aura glowing around her, he knew that she was preparing for the blow while charging up her own, which she began launching by spinning around to punch him. Time seemed to slow down. I will not be loser to this boy, I will win. Time. The announcer calls, watching stunned as both fighters halt their movements almost immediately. The dust kicked around them from the forces of the stopped attacks was the all indicator to how serious the fight was starting to get. Not bad, she breathed heavily. Not so bad yourself, for an old woman. Naruto chided as he chuckled a little bit only to get lightly punched in nose unprepared. You deserved that runt. She tells him yeah, probably did. Who won? He asks, was it me? No, it was me. She tells him. Draw. Both looked at the announcer before both looked at each other, audience divided too equally to ascertain a true winner. Resulting match winnings are to divide evenly, meaning no gain or loss of money. Thank you for your display, give them a round of applause. The crowd roared out in cheers before Naruto sighs, well guess we're equally matched. Hang on, she orders him, who are and where are you from? Naruto, I'm originally from Mistral, you madam? Naruto inquired in return, crossing his arms with a light smile on his face. I cannot really say here. Do you have a hotel room? She asks. Naruto thought it over before looking at her. She was hot, sexy, even eyes were beautiful, but something was off about her. Something that made him think twice, thrice, and finally 4 times over. I'm just passing through, besides you're a little old for me. Now, you must be at least 25 with your skillset. She comments as they both walk away from the ring. Actually, I just turned 17. The woman just stopped there before her eyes widened. Please, twins, let him meet my daughter please. Chapter 7. Aoi and Jai were helping AM set up the table for dinner. It was later into the night and the children minus Gamma had all been hyperactive since Naruto's leaving. You all seem happy to have your big brother out of the house. Yes and no, I'm happy he's out having fun and not working tonight. Aoi states as he places glasses on the table, plus it gives us time to know our aunt. How you flatter me, AM replies with a smile, but seriously Aoi, how do you feel about Naruto going to work? It scares me. AM turned to Aoi. Stop, along with Jai. I know what he does is important, he does it take care of us, but I'm scared that one day he won't come back. Aoi is right, it scares me too, Jai says, it's because I have seen him come home with cuts and bruises and I know that he saw fighting. I know he's really strong, but even the strongest slip up. You wish he'd get a safer job. Both nodded at AM's question. AM stopped roasting the chicken in the oven before sighing, "You know, I've been helping him so long with you all, I never asked how you all came to meet him. I met Big Brother in Mistral, it was a day after the Lantern Festival, and I was hungry. I grew up on the streets after my parents died of Helix disease, which was common in Faunus, and I saw him doing these tricks with his aura to get money, so I introduced myself as his assistant." Aoi tells her, "And I assumed that he'd be forced to give me money to eat." "What did he do?" AM asked. "He took me with him around town, volunteering me as shows of strength and agility. Tossing me around, but never once did he drop me. It felt like I was back at home, playing with my father. We saved up a good chunk of change each night and he would always pay for the meals. One day he told me we were going to head east and asked if I wanted to travel with him." Aoi smiles as he speaks, "I've never looked back." "So, Naruto traveled alone even at the young of age?" AM inquires further, sighing in sadness of hearing their initial struggle. "Yeah, far as I know Big Brother traveled like a cloud. We came upon village after village, doing shows, getting free food. Then we walked towards an airfield with our money and gave almost all of it up to travel to Atlas." Aoi tells her some more. "Why Atlas?" AM once again questioned as she finished pulling out the chicken. "Work, Naruto got a job as a miner there." Jai interjected, "And it's where he met me 2 years ago. My father was human contractor in the mines, he always treated the workers fairly, but often got looked down upon for it. Many of the workers being Frontis respected him, but one day, the mine began to shake. They had hit a magma chamber. Naruto managed to get everyone out, but when he went back for my father, the hero my father was he jumped in front of steam vent that blew up. Shielding Big Brother, but it costed him the ultimate price, and now I look up to that even if I don't look like I do." Jai shook, his hands clench as he spoke. Big Brother had worked there a year, before the mine collapsed they dug him out with Jai's father's dead body. I never saw Big Brother cry, but he was sobbing over Jai's father. They had been good friends. So, Naruto took in Jai and promised both us that he would do everything he could to make sure we grew up happy. Aoi finished for Jai, who was currently shaking and holding back tears. "It's something I don't like talking about, but I'm very grateful for Naruto. Children usually left up for adoption, Atlas never see it happen, and they're conscripted into the military soon afterwards." Jai explains as tears drop from his eyes. Aka walked in, seeing Jai cry, she sighed. "What's wrong, Jai?" "Just talking about how Naruto met us and took us in." Jai answered his little sister, sighing as he took a deep breath to help hold back his tears. "And Big Brother Naruto has always put himself second to everyone." Aoi states, "I've seen him go hungry when me and Jai were hungry, I've seen him get frostbite when it came to keeping us warm. I came to view him as my big brother but as my father as well. He gave so much to all of us, his heart and soul." "Do you know how Naruto became alone?" AM asked. "Not really, he just says that he used to live on the continent where all of the other Frontis moved to and that he was in village that got razed to the ground by Grim." Aoi answers, "He'd probably became the greatest hunter ever known if it wasn't for us." "Oh, come on now Aoi, don't play yourself. Naruto took you in because he didn't want us to suffer probably like he had. I have a feeling Big Brother was alone for a very long time before meeting you." Lee came in and interjected. Aka started only to chuckle. Lee was actually found by Naruto being chased by Grim that had recently attacked our village in Vacuo. This was after he moved there from Atlas, he saved her, and when she pointed back to me he came running over. "Sis had Moxie even has a kid." Lee quipped, "She lured several of the baddies away from me so I could get a fighting chance. Almost lost my life, but our parents weren't so lucky." Aka gaze turned saddened as she gave a huff. "So, why did you join Naruto?" AM asks, "Didn't you have anyone else?" "No, our parents were the only things we had, and with our village totally gone we were left to fend for ourselves. Naruto took us in, and we've been trying to repay him, but anytime we did anything for him he turned it down. Instead he just taught us and took care of us. It's like, I don't know, he wanted to make sure we didn't feel any sort of pain." Aka points out, "But I do still. I cry about mom and dad sometimes, but I cry for Naruto as well, like how I'm scared that one day he won't come back. Come on sis, Naruto is invincible." Lee yells, "He's stronger than anyone out there." "Heh, I agree with Lee." Aoi chuckles, "My big brother is stronger than a normal person, even hunters that I've seen in competitions. And we're going to train under him, maybe he wants us ready to fight with him." Jai called out, "Imagine it, us the trio to Uzumaki. The ugly Aoi, the dashing Jai, and then the master Naruto. Hey, why do I have to be ugly?" Aoi yells as he flutters his arms about in a childish manner, "If anything I'm smarter than you. Or not am too, or not am too. Boys." Aka yelled with ear-splitting scream, even making AM wince. Thank you Aka." AM thanked the young redhead as she waved her off. "Point is, guys, Big Brother is lonely and whether if he admits or not, he's done too much for us. Yet, we're here being kids when at our ages he was probably mastering his skills, Aoi states before scratching his chin. I say we put him on a dating site. Actually, I have to agree, you're pretty smart, Aoi. AM says before setting the table fully, but still, how did he meet Dukang and Gamma? Aoi sighed, he met Dukang first. 6 months ago, Big Brother was on a mission into the surrounding village of Vale. White Fang were attacking, he took on them, and they were taking humans as captured victims. From what he told us, Dukang was given to him by the elders of that village so that he could live a normal life afterwards. Dukang had always grew up in an orphanage even prior to joining us. What about Gamma? AM asks as she places the food on the table, how did he meet her? On his return trip to Vale, Big Brother found Gamma wandering the streets in the summer sun. Turns out Gamma's parents had abandoned her, well, at least that is what Naruto is thinking. However, Gamma is actually a hybrid, she's of human and faunus. Aoi explained as he walked out of the kitchen towards the girl's room to collect her. AM sat in her chair, looking at all of them, before sighing. Indeed, Naruto has done a lot for people, but she couldn't help but wonder what he was up to now. Drink, I said. I don't drink. Please stop. Drink guys, I know it was a good fight, but please don't buy me rounds. One shot. Naruto was setting a very crowded bar after his fight with a woman, Raven, as he came to learn he had become sort of a local celebrity for his fight that night. Ladies wanted to buy him drinks, and the guys wanted to buy him drinks. He was at a loss. Naruto sighed, one shot. Yeah. The crowd cheered before a man went over to the bartender, grabbing a shot glass full of a blue liquid. Alright kiddo, this here is called Blue Moon Tears, this is the strongest they got. 195 proof. The man claims as he slams the shot glass in front of Naruto, and we want you to drink it. I said I'd drink one, I'm going to drink one, can't be that bad. Naruto says as he grabs the glass, turning his head up as the blue liquid slowly poured into his mouth. His eyes widened for a second before swallowing could be heard, along Naruto getting a droopy look on his face. His eyes dilated, his breathing became slightly labored, he felt as if time was slowly slowing down a little. Wow, Naruto got up, stumbling a little bit. Hey kid, easy there, you should chase that. The man said, mint. Naruto nodded, sitting back down, I said only one. Come on kid, this is party central, quit being such downer. Got any parents? Naruto looked at the man, sighing, before shaking his head. Then you've got no one to answer to, but yourself, I say yourself is saying loosen up besides. The man pointed with his thumb to a very busty blonde behind him. That chick over there is checking you out, who knows, drink up and maybe pucker up. The girl that was looking at Naruto waved with a roll of fingers, giving a sultry smirk at the blonde, who slightly blushed. Oh my, this is Naruto gripped his fists, he felt like he wanted to quit for tonight, but he couldn't bring himself to do it, so with a sigh, I'd like another drink. He wants another. Same thing. Naruto nodded, and he watched the man run over and get him another Blue Moon Tears shot. Throwing it back, Naruto gaze fixated on the dance floor, and with a wobble he got up. I think I'm going to go dance. The man chuckled as he watched the blonde walk towards the dance floor and motioned with his head towards the woman. She quickly got through the crowd, finding her fellow blonde in the crowd, slightly bopping his head to the music. Hey sugar, she walks in front of him before slightly swaying her hips to the music, wanna dance? Sure I guess, but it's not really a slow song. Naruto nervously stuttered before feeling something press against him, he looked away in a blush as the woman turned around and began to dance with him. He felt his hands get grabbed, don't worry I like it hard and fast. She placed his hands on her hips before the blonde nervously gripped and began to move his hips too. However, it seemed that the night's music and high-grade alcohol he consumed was getting to him. What's your name? You can call me Samui, Sam for short, but anything you want later. She flirts with a sultry grin. Okay, well my name's Naruto Samui. Naruto tells her before closing his eyes, before feeling his body get into motion. Cute name, fish cake. She chuckles as she jokes with his name before turning around to face him. I love to eat fish. She leans in and whispers into his ear. Naruto nervously looks away before feeling something brushing around back pockets. He should have paid more attention, but the music blurred anything out. Instead, he moved backwards, I'm going to get some more to drink. Sighing a mock huff, the woman smirked before following him. I'll join you. Naruto slammed back another glass of alcohol before cheering with the rest of the crowd. Sun drop is better than Blue Moon Tears. He calls out before chucking another down his throat. Drunkenly he got up before walking to the dance floor where dubstep music was playing full blast. Infinite power. Naruto got onto the dance floor, dancing rather erratically, body rolling with each drop. He was drunk, but was having fun. A dumb smile across his face as he danced, before throwing his arms into the air, interchanging each jump he made before stunning the crowd with a backflip. Naruto drunkenly began to display his fighting style in a form of a dance, without using aura, before handstanding with his right hand and spinning around. Kicking out, splitting with each kick and showing his flexibility, Naruto flipped forwards from his arm. Landing on his back, Naruto began to breakdance on the floor, laughing all the while. Spinning on the floor he got up, watching as someone else entered the circle, before noticing a familiar face. The mint hair, the red eyes, and the round face. It was Emerald, and had entered the circle. She was a uniform of some kind, she began to dance in a similar fashion to as Naruto. He was unsurprised by this, in their brief encounter, the two proved to be equally matched in agility at best, with their practice of King Kong. What mesmerized him was the flexibility she was displaying, the song bass dropped when she pointed at him. The blonde was confused, did she know? How could she know? However, his thoughts were broken when he felt the blonde woman from earlier push him forwards. Aren't you going to dance, sugar? It's a dance battle, Shadowy said as she moved her mouth towards his ear, have fun. The only words Naruto heard were dance, battle, and it seemed to click as the bass dropped once more before he flipped forwards before landing on his hands and interchanging them as he kicked. The alcohol server walking around accidentally got shoved into the circle. Naruto flipped backwards, not noticing her, narrowly missing her face with his kick. The tray went up into the air. The shot glasses went flying as well, the crowd groaned as some alcohol was about to be spilt on them. Naruto kept dancing, before finishing his routine by grabbed a still full shot glass out of the air and chugging it down. Thumbing down Emerald and waved her off as he caught a second one. This is too much fun, more, Naruto screamed mentally. In his head, an angel chibi of Naruto was getting beat up by three devilish-looking Naruto chibis. Each of them grabbing shots that came down periodically, party. Naruto screams as he finished his shot. Emerald growled before going back onto the dance floor before somersaulting and before landing in a full flex, before backflipping onto her hands and tucking herself into a roll. She landed on her hands again, before flipping over on her back and began to breakdance. Naruto drunkenly praised the dancing, before prematurely joining in, which resulted in him getting pushed back by Emerald. Hey, idiot, it's not your turn. A, B, but there's not a turn in a battle. Naruto yells incompliant, before smirking. I'm winning. No, you're losing, drunk. Emerald crossed her arms, before glaring at Naruto. But I'm not drunk, oh wow. Naruto saw the world as wavy in his vision before chuckling. I'm drunk. No shit, now dance or get off the floor. A man called out, before Naruto walked off the floor. Much to the disappointment of the crowd, before he drunkenly stumbled onto a bar stool. Bartender, am I drunk? Slushed. The man confirmed for Naruto, who chuckled and nodding towards Shadowy. We've got some rooms upstairs you could stay in for a night along with a pretty lady. Oh no thanks, I've got my own hotel. Naruto calls out loudly, though he didn't really mean to. Naruto clutched his head, before getting up, I need to get out of here. Naruto slowly hobbled on the floor as the music became louder somehow, before bumping into some people. He heard the crowd scream for someone to drink, noticing that Emerald was on her way to getting slushed. Something's not right with the alcohol, why do I feel so dizzy? Naruto walked out of the doors before stumbling onto the street, his red eyes glowing as his aura activated. He felt tired, but felt his aura slowly flushed the alcohol out of his system. However, he grew green before throwing up onto the pavement, much to the disgust of the people around him. Checking his pants pocket, Naruto's eyes widened when he felt his pockets empty. Mother Naruto grit his teeth before walking back into the bar. Marching towards the bartender, the blonde sat down glaring at him. So that's your game, huh? Give it back. The bartender hummed, don't know what you mean, kiddo. Enjoy your free alcohol though. Fuck you. Naruto growled, where's that Shadowy girl? Ah, well you see kid, if you took up my offer you'd probably be a-okay. The bartender stated before watching Naruto's eyes glow red before walking over towards the woman in question. Cursing, the bartender brought his wrist to his mouth, he knows. Naruto still felt slightly wasted, but if things turned hostile he was confident he could fight back easily. Getting near Shadowy, he slapped his hand onto her back pocket, hey baby, how you are doing? He growled out before pulling out his kitty-looking wallet out of her pocket. Oh, you dropped that, I was just holding onto it for you. She spoke, distracting Naruto, before being stunned when the blonde's red eyes widened before he caught a bat aimed at his head without looking. Oh shit. Yeah, oh shit. Naruto growled, before pulling the bat holder forward before tossing the assailant over his shoulder. When the man was reaching for a knife, Naruto punched him straight into the face, before realizing something. Emerald had begun to get the same treatment as he did, but the thing was with sedatives in the alcohol. Where's that mint-haired girl from earlier? Naruto asked calmly. Shadowy nervously pointed towards the back behind the bar before Naruto slapped her hard across her face. She looked at him stunned, that's for ruining a good night, he stated before walking with a furious look on his face. He stopped as he noticed the bartender came from the back, a smile across his face, before chuckling as he looked at Naruto. Two men wearing suits with red ties came towards him, each holding a knife. The blonde stopped before he heard the bartender call out. "Last call, after all, our drinks are a steal." Naruto watched as the crowd quickly got their drinks from the bartender and his staff before walking out the door and onto a new club. Once the doors were shut, Naruto noticed 3 more thugs join in, one holding a gun in hands which were over his crouch. "Too bad kiddo, you had some good lean on you, you could live through the night if you walk away. This Porty Central is known for people getting lost, a property of the Black Tiger Gang as well." Naruto eyes furrowed before cracking his knuckles. "What's your game here, don't bullshit me," Naruto demands as he drops down into a fighting stance. "Well, I'd tell you, but you'll be dead regardless," the bartender states as he reaches down and grabs 2 revolvers. "So how about it kiddo, going to leave in one piece or like veal cheese?" Chapter 8. Naruto sighed before his eyes glowed red before he got a serious look on his face. "You don't want none of this. Give the girl to me and we'll all leave here in a fair condition." The thugs laughed as one got onto a DJ booth before playing loud music. "You see you furry bastard, we're just going to play this to hide your screams of death," the bartender states before spinning his guns around and cocking them. "Hope you don't mind some King Taco." Naruto reached into his left back pocket before hearing the first shots fired. Everything moved in slow motion for him as he jumped backwards before pulling some needles out of his pockets. Launching the needles while spinning around, Naruto watched as they buried themselves center mass into the 2 thugs charged at him with knives in both of their hands. Naruto was about to charge until a sharp sting coursed through his back and loud cracking following. He turned to see Shadowy wielding a thorn whip with metal shavings along the length. "Hey sugar, how uncool of you to forget little old me." Smirking, Naruto's aura flickered to life as he saw the bartender and gunman began pointing their weapons at him. Reaching into his cloak as they fired, Naruto pulled out his staff. Using his aura, he manipulated the dust content of the staff to change its size to where it had become an eyebrow-height staff. Spinning it around, Naruto began to deflect the bullets heading for him before charging at the bartender, who merely rolled out of the way. Unfortunately for the gunman besides him, he met the end of Naruto's staff. Spinning on his heel, Naruto deflected several more bullets while spinning on his staff. Charging his aura, Naruto jumped up, spinning around before forming a Rasengan in his free hand. Only to have his arm grab the whip from Shadowy and slam him into the floor. A loud bang flooded the room as Naruto's technique slammed into the flooring, blowing a huge chunk of it out. Now caught by Shadowy's whip, Naruto glared at her before erecting a barrier behind him by dropping his staff onto his foot when the bartender fired several more bullets at him. The bullets bounced off the barrier, but Naruto's staff started to roll away. "Too bad sugar, you're quite handsome, I would have gave you a time of your life." Shadowy cruelly flirts as she pulls the whip she had, cutting Naruto's arm slightly. "Too bad that handsome face is getting cut up in the meat grinder." "Heh," Naruto chuckles before spinning around and purposely wrapping himself in the whip to bring Shadowy closer. "Fox tastes really bad." Before she could react, Naruto headbutted her before roaring out and making his aura's power alone break the whip. Shadowy growled, bringing 2 curved knives out from her dress's sleeves before spinning around to engage Naruto. The duo began to dance around each other, Naruto not even blocking her as he easily avoided her slashing. "Hold still bastard." She roars before stabbing both at him, only for Naruto to spin around his heel and palm strike her in her chest. He rapidly began to palm strike her center mass before jumping up and gripping her shoulders, raw. Naruto roared as he used his momentum to throw her at the disco ball hanging onto the ceiling. She careened into it as she was sent flying before crashing onto the ground. He made note a pale yellow glow around her before sucking in his teeth. "One down, oh no, hey there, you got friends." Naruto then heard the breaking of glass as Shadowy got up, wiping blood off her lip. She smirked as she bit her lip even more. "I told you I liked it rough." The blonde hardened around her fingernails, making them needle-like claws. Naruto watched as a dozen of thugs began to pour into the building, each armed with a sword, while the bartender smiled and looked at Naruto. "Like them, these are my best, and if should know I'm the leader of the Black Tiger Gang. Samuel McCree and I believe it's high noon." Grunting, Naruto dropped into another stance as he faced down Shadowy. "Oh, but don't worry, I believe Shadowy here is going to enjoy you first." "Hahaha." She roared in laughter as she charged, attacking more vicious than ever. All the while McCree took random potshots at Naruto, who put up a barrier occasionally to block ones that there was no avoiding. Getting slashed across his chest, Naruto found that her semblance could slice through his aura. She was a very real and deadly threat. Naruto headbutted her when she was caught off guard before spinning around and elbowing her in her ribs. "Allow me," Naruto formed a Rasengan in his left hand to take you for a spin. The Kree's eyes widened as Shadowy was sent careening with a loud screech of pain through the bar's alcohol, where further screamed in pain from all the cuts she received when her aura died out. Naruto's red eyes scanned the room as the thugs jumped down from the balcony before charging at him. Naruto dropped down into a stance, with his palms facing towards the sky and ground, before he smirked. Kata Hansai. 18 form dragon subduing Zhang. Naruto tucked in as he jumped, before slamming both palms to his sides before blasting them outwards, along with a powerful gust of wind. The wind was enough to send several of the thugs flying into the walls opposite of him. When he landed, Naruto channeled aura into his palms to catch a sword in either hand before jumping up and split, kicking the two assailants wielding them. They both went flying away, before Naruto closed his eyes and snapped them open when a thug stabbed at him. Only for the thug to have his mouth hang open in shock when the sword snapped against Naruto's back. The blonde blurred from in front of him, before he turned around to see the blonde standing behind him. What? He screamed before the blonde palm struck him in the head, legs, and arms. The man stood there stunned before being kicked across the nightclub and into the wall by the others. Here, take some of your meds, you filthy animal. A thug screamed as he attempted to use Naruto's staff as a baseball bat, only for it shrink when Naruto snapped his fingers, and this resulted in that thug missing wildly as he spun around. Naruto's palm struck the back of the man's arm, making him drop the staff, while he suffered a broken arm from the strike. Naruto merely blasted him away with another palm strike, before turning to grab a sword aimed for his head by another thug. Naruto stomped his foot on the ground, his staff expanded back to where he had originally had it when he wanted to use it for combat. This allowed Naruto bend down, pick up a staff, before looking at the thug. Let's count, you make 9 out of the 12 that entered and you're 9th out. Naruto slammed the butt of his staff into the man's gut before watching the man double over. Reacting on instinct, Naruto turned around and formed a barrier to block several bullets from Samuel. Naruto's eyes widened when the 3 other thugs walked over beside Samuel, who smirked, light 'em up boys. They pulled their pistols out, beginning to fire at Naruto, had to use both of his hands to maintain the barrier. He saw a thug who was running from behind, before throwing his leg back and catching a recovered thug by surprise, before he saw his barrier start to crack. The blonde's hair starts to stand up as more aura pours out him, before he roared out and sent a wave of absolute power out in the form of a roar. All the gunmen stopped, their guns clicking. Samuel found that he had ran out of the bullets. Naruto's appearance slightly changed, his whisker marking on his cheek slightly deepened, his normally round pupils had become slits. I'm not one to say this, but this has been one hell of a night, boys. Naruto says before dropping the barrier and making the bullets all fall and clatter on the ground. Now I'm pissed off, my night's ruined, and now I've got to curb stomp your asses. Naruto blurred out of sight before appearing behind Samuel, who had little time to form his aura up before being kicked across the nightclub by the furious blonde. The gunmen, 3 in total, jumped backwards while reloading their weapons only for Naruto to appear in front of them. The mad blonde spun around before wind formed around him and made lose their balance when they contacted the ground. Everything, once again in slow motion. Naruto, the blonde, appeared above them. Slamming the middle thug to the ground with his knee before palm striking the other 2 to the ground as well. Taking a deep breath, Naruto's appearance reverted to where he was much calmer before smirking. Been a while since someone brought out 50% of my power, I congratulate on that, but this little operation of yours ends here, you messed with the wrong guy. Naruto got up, turning around to Samuel who was behind the counter and grabbing some more ammo. Naruto hissed before dashing in a blur of speed over to him, leaving after images as he did before appearing right in front of the man and crouching on the counter. Samuel tried to load his gun only to have Naruto kick him twice in the face before he could react. Samuel's aura died out quickly when Naruto launched himself and his foot into the man's face. Samuel yelped out in pain when Naruto stumped on both of his hands and broke them. Stop. Samuel screamed only to get picked up by his shirt collar and looked right into the blood-red eyes of Naruto. You're a monster. No, Naruto calm says, I'm your worst nightmare, filth. Naruto spun around before throwing Samuel onto his men before he looked right at Shadowy who was guarding the door. Stay back. She screams, you don't get, do you? The Black Tiger Gang is a rival of Roman Torchwick, this is the only way we make money. That's a cruel, dishonorable, and unjust way to make a living. Naruto comments as his eyes went back to their blue, you should be ashamed of yourself as a woman to even allow filth like him to kidnap your kind. Naruto got up right into Samuel's face, you disgust me, get the fuck out of my sight. Naruto gripped her throat and don't ever return. The woman nodded, freeing herself, running out the door. The blonde cocked his arm back before smashing down the door, there he saw several women all tied up, some very much awake. Grabbing a piece of broken wood of the door, Naruto walked over to the women, cutting their bounds before walking over to a passed out emerald. Thank you God, thank you. One of the women say as she makes a dash out of the door, I'll call the Leo. Naruto looked at Emerald before cutting her bounds, checking her over to make sure no additional damage was done. Sighing, Naruto picked her up bridal style before walking out of the room as the other women followed him. "Don't worry you guys, you're all safe now, go." The women nodded, quickly beelining to the door, and Naruto let Emerald down when he noticed Samuel and his cronies trying to escape. "Didn't say you could leave, bastard." Naruto slowly walked towards them, making sure his footsteps clacked against the ground. Samuel turned to see the blonde monster before whimpering when Naruto stood there. "Leos are on their way, do not move from here." Naruto started to form a Rasen shuriken with his hands, "Or I'll blow this entire building up, understand me?" Nodding, Samuel cowered against the wall, slightly sobbing in fear. "Good boy." Emerald woke up to see her mentor looking over, she jolted upwards, what happened? "Apparently you got duped, drinking isn't fun for kids when you don't know what could be slipped in." Her mentor told her, "Be lucky that Swallow retrieved you from some stupid-looking blonde-haired boy and be lucky that boy is foolishly Paragon." I can't believe I let this happen." Emerald shakes, "How did I get out unharmed?" "That blonde kid who saved you kicked everyone ass getting to you, you may know him. He was the blonde dancing against you on the floor." Emerald found the source of the voice as Swallow, which is actually funny that he was drunk while doing so. "Wait, you were actually unmasked in the club, looking at me, why didn't you stop them?" Emerald screams at him, they could've. "Personally, I didn't bother to do anything since I was there on other benefactors' business that earned him a glare from Cinder, but my dear little rat, I don't think I'd let them go any further than drugging you." "You sound just like a monster to say that," Cinder states before smirking, "let me know if you start taking up assassinations." Swallow chuckles, "Fat chance." "Well, we'll be happy to know that Roman is jumping for absolute joy since he saw Frontis kick his rivals out." Swallow looked at Cinder before smirking under his mask, before chuckling. "Well, we shouldn't bother the Frontis then, if he was strong enough to single-handedly take on all of those thugs in their +2 aura users and get her out, well, he may actually be able to take me on." Swallow states before leaving, "But tell me, when is my next job?" "Not for another 2 weeks, Cinder says, "but if you can please keep an eye out for the blonde Frontis, since if he's out hunting criminals, well, you may have that fight." Will do." Swallow says as he walks away. AM was foaming at the mouth, she looked at TV screen with furious eyes. "You had one job, Naruto, that was to relax, one job." She yells over her scroll. "AM, calm down, I got a major hangover from the sedatives and alcohol, oh no, you're not weaseling your tongue to get you out of this one, Uzumaki Naruto. I paid for that hotel, you go have fun and don't get involved in stupid stuff that could get you killed, but AM, I just stopped a slave trade, come on. Seriously, besides, this makes the world safer for the girls, yeah I guess you're right, but by the way, the media doesn't know who you are yet. That footage is really crappy. Speaking of knowing me, how's the joys of my life doing? Well, they talked about you last night, and Naruto, you're very lucky. A lot of parents out there would kill for children like yours, kind, loving, not afraid to stand up. Well, I love them too much to not teach them the right things. Guess you're right, by the way, Akka learned how to make beggars roast chicken. My favorite with ramen Yahoo. AM went from pissed to laughing all in the span of 5 minutes. The children were all doing thing, while Jai and Aoi both were sitting on the floor meditating. Both thinking of their original parents, both deep into their mediation. Slowly, a hum emerged from Aoi as his eyes opened to see that his body's outline was covered in an ice-like blue energy. Smiling, he roared out, "I did it." AM turned to see Aoi standing there, his aura outlines prominent. "Aunt AM, tell big brother I'm glowing, I've unlocked my aura." "Oh, he hears you, hang on." AM put the scroll on speakerphone. "Aoi, really?" Naruto almost sounded sad over the phone, but AM knew better, he was more than likely smiling. "Yeah, all I did was think of everyone and my will to protect you all. You're all my family and I vow to take up after you, big brother. It was a choice I made in my mind and then everything just seemed to calm down. All of the times I had with my mother and father, I took away the bad things and just focused on the happy times." Aoi explained before tears leaked from his eyes, "Thank you, big brother. Give yourself a pat on the back, Aoi, you're the one that made it happen, I love you, little brother." "How's Jai doing, Aoi?" Aoi looked stunned as Jai got up, a red aura flowing around him, he smiled as he stood there looking at his older brother. "Tell big brother I've unlocked mine as well." "Really?" "Yep, you've now got 2 proud aura using brothers and Akka and Lee are hoping you can teach them next year." AM says while she heard Naruto whimper. Naruto. I'm fine, just wow, so soon. I'm proud of you both so much, I wished someone didn't strong-arm me into this vacation, I wanted to see it happen." "It's okay, big brother, you've done too much for us anyhow, we love you, go have fun, old man." Aoi jokes while smiling and wiping away some tears. "Besides, Gamma is getting better. I knew I could count on you, AM, thank you, big sis." Hey now, I'm only doing what any good person would do, don't forget that. AM said as she held the phone up. You do too much yourself, I may stop by the ramen stand today to get some noodles from your dad. Tomorrow is my last day up here anyhow, and hopefully I won't get into trouble. Please don't, AM slightly begs, you need to know how much your family worries about you. I know they do, I love them for worrying about me, but I'm a man and I got this because I am the man. Alright, just get home safe. Naruto watched as his scroll hung up before smiling and making a mental note to train Aoi and Jai harder when he got back home. They were excellent students to begin with, but now they're prodigal in Naruto's eyes. It took him months to unlock his aura, it only took them a couple of weeks. Well, I better get going, Naruto openly states, Ramen is calling my name. Chapter 9. Aoi and Jai both jumped, Jai attempting to keep up with Aoi as they ran around the forest with Naruto leading them. Up. Naruto called as they jumped into the trees, Naruto catching Jai when the boy was about to miss his branch. Add a little bit more power. Yes brother. Jai complies as they began to jump from one branch of the tree to another, Jai looked over to Aoi, who was easily jumping from his hands and feet in a similar fashion to Naruto. Jai attempted to do the same, but was rewarded when he hit his head into a tree trunk. Naruto motioned for Aoi to stop, going over to Jai who was rubbing his bruised forehead. Chuckling a little bit, it's going to knock sense into you eventually little brother, so come on, let's keep going. Naruto watched as Aoi landed next to Jai, down, he calls as he leans back and allows himself to fall off the branch. The duo followed him before seeing that they landed in a heavily wooded area. They watched as Naruto lightly jogged compared to their full-on sprint before vaulting the same logs as their dear big brother. They watched Naruto kick off 2 trees, going up into the air, they soon followed. They were glad their big brother was home from his vacation, even more so when Naruto announced he was going to take a more active role into their training early on. Standing up on the densely wooded branch, Naruto watched as Aoi successfully made the same wall kicks but watched with a frown as Jai struggled. Come on little brother, Aoi cheers, come on I'll catch ya. Jai wall kicked off the tree for the last time before catching Aoi's hand with a resounding clap, both brothers smiled at each other. Naruto whistled, catching their attention, before nudging his head the densely packed treetops. I'm going to teach how to silently go through trees, watch me do it slowly until you pick up speed. Naruto turned around, stretching before bounding. His bounding was basically him take jumps instead of steps with each foot and the boys couldn't hear him at all. Aoi and Jai nodded at each other before both took a running start and attempted to keep pace only for each other to catch the other before they fell to the ground. Wow, thanks Jai, Aoi says as he barely regains his balance, saved my neck. No problem big brother, Jai snickers, you've always been clumsy. Hey. Aoi whines as he watches Jai move ahead of him, at least I don't cry over girly movie. Look here Aoi, Io the horse was sad okay. Jai argues back as they began to travel through the trees and take the occasional jump. Amma didn't even cry. Aoi fires back as he lands silently onto another tree. Well Gamma is 5, she can't tell a sad story if she even knew how. Jai yells in argument. That doesn't even make sense. Aoi argues back, barely making his jump. Ah, forget it. Jai yells before slipping on snow on one of the branches, Aoi help. Aoi barely missed Jai's hand, little brother. Aoi screams. Thus then Aoi saw a yellow blur appear under Aoi, catching him in its arms, it was Naruto who had a smile on his face. Hey, nice of you to drop in loudmouth. Jai looked away huffing before chuckling a little bit, see now there's a smile. Big brother is Jai okay? Aoi called out in question. Oh yeah, he's fine, hey guys we're done with training for today. I've got to go to work tomorrow and need some sleep. However, if fortune holds I'll be off next week as week. Naruto tells them as Aoi jumps down and easily sticks his landing. Cool, more training. Aoi cheers while Jai nods in agreement as he gets let down by Naruto. Alright boys before we head in, tell me what you've learned today. Naruto orders them politely as he crosses his arms. Always be quick, be nimble, and stealthy. Aoi tells him and Naruto nods. Always know where to step, don't rush, and be thoughtful. Jai says and receives a nod from Naruto. Very good, very good. Naruto praises them, now come on I'm going to cook us some warm moist ramen. Swallow hummed as Snake Emerald stood next to him, are you finished yet? She inquires as he hums while picking a lock. Swallow turns to her, nope. He then promptly goes back to what he was doing before he felt the lock click. Opening the door, the duo walked into the room before discovering a room full of experimental dust crystals. So, when you said we'd be breaking into a lab you actually meant the head lab of the Schnee Dust Company. Swallow says while looking at the dust crystals and whistled when he found one that he liked. Oh my, we've got ourselves a song of wind and fire. Hands off, Snake states as she packs it, making Swallow fidget a little bit. This is all going to our benefactor so that he can make more of this stuff. You're such a joy kill. Swallow comments as he stretches before peeking into the hallway where all the guards were. Can I get you all some drinks? Untie us. One of the guards stated loudly. Sorry, that's not on the menu. Swallow chimes in before turning to face Snake in the room. So, we're too good to go. Pretty much, Snake says as she holds the dust in separate bags. You know, I actually find it funny that here we are in our mask and only one of us knows what the other really looks like. Yeah, you keep on thinking that, sweetheart, Swallow mentally chuckled as he walked out of the room. Funny thing is, for being the illustrious Schneelab, security here sucks. Hey. A guard whined. Oh, come on Reginald, you're a shitty crack shot and you know it. A guard argued with a guard named Reginald. That's true, Reginald agrees openly, but what are they going to do to us? Knock you out. Swallow appears in front of Reginald before punching him in the face. Seriously, how do you work with this guy? Ballet guard shyly says, he's actually got pretty good pockets for drinking money. You don't say. Snake looks at Swallow before diving into his pockets. Knocking on his mask in frustration, Swallow looked at the other guards. So tell me, is it just me or was this place lightly guarded for a reason? Well, our boss is a cheap bastard. One of the guards says, he cut my pay in half. Why? Swallow inquired. Because apparently you lot got by us at the Atlas prison. Swallow looked at the guard before snapping his fingers and chuckling. Oh, I remember you were that guard pissing his pants when I blew through the wall. Swallow loudly proclaims and caused the other guards to laugh. Shut, you ah. Everyone stopped laughing when Swallow punched the poor man. Sorry guys, but give my regards to Zoc when you see him and tell him that Swallow says hi. Swallow jokes as he rushes over and starts punching out all the guards. Clapping his hands together, Swallow chuckles before looking as Snake pulled out Reginald's wallet, which was barren. Lying bastards. She yells as she throws it into the wall, literally. Hey, that what's you get for being greedy, Swallow chastises her. Now come on, this has been a total bummer. What, you actually like fighting? Swallow shrugs at her question. So, I like a good battle occasionally. Besides that, little mind tricks you do is frigging useful as a pocket knife in a forest. Seriously, I got blessed with overbearing power made to crush armies, and you get the one thing your career is based around. Swallow compliments her before she stops him. What? No. She simply states. No, what? Swallow argues. I don't sleep with coworkers, nor do I sleep with anyone I barely know. So, no, it's not happening. Flattery doesn't get you anywhere. She tells him before he just stands there. Women can't compliment them. Swallow runs through his head. I wasn't making a pass. Oh really? I've seen you staring. Snake accuses him. Oh what? Come on. Swallow argues. I'm guy under this thing, my bad. Geez, how about I just go first in the vent this time, oh Miss Go-Getter? Ugh, fine, go. She says as she opens the vent before watching him hold out his hand. What? Dust, hand now, please. Swallow ordered. Here, Snake slammed the dust into his palm. Hope you blow up. Let's hope not, besides, it was me who took out all the guards. Swallow tells her as he climbs in. Crawling around in near darkness, Swallow stopped as his scroll came on and played the ring Tanaka had put on it. Snake had to stifle her laughter as he answered, hello. What's the status of the mission? BAS, excuse me, boring as shit, that's rather blunt, but yes, turns around the SDC foolishly have been making cuts into their security over the past couple of months since our little vacation. So we should take this time, get back into full swing. And let me guess, more dust robberies. Hey, you said it, not me. The scroll cut out before Swallow sighed before hearing Snake chuckling. What? All the girls dance in flowers, really, that's like for little kids. Snake says as she struggles to not laugh, it's just unexpected. Yeah, well, eat me. Swallow retorts while she arcs her eyebrow. What? Really, eat me is the best comeback you got, she sighs, just be lucky I didn't see your ugly mug. Oh really, got any one-liners? Swallow questions as they exit the vent. Oh, and wouldn't you know it, the Atlas military just so happened to be waiting outside of the vent. All of them pointed rifles, swords and whatever have you at Swallow as he stopped exiting the vent. He sucked his teeth in. What's going on? I kind of forgot that the Schnee is in bed with Atlas. Snake, can you back up, freeze before I put you on ice? Ha, that was a good one-liner, permanently sad one-liner. Snake, back up. Swallow crawled backwards as he bullets and aura charged shots him and Snake were stuck in the vents as they heard the Atlas military fire about. Sighing, Swallow angled himself to sit up in the vent before looking at Snake. So, yeah, apparently this way is no good, Roman already on it, you're the worst boss, yeah, kiss my ass. Alright, straight down into the vents, leads to the laundry room, and there is a sewer drain there as well. Roger that, alright, looks I'm taking a bath after all. Hey Snake, she looked at him, ladies first. Snake looked confused by her body language until she got pushed forward down a vent and Swallow followed her soon afterwards. They tumbled around for a bit before they landed in the laundry room and they both landed on all fours. Snake looked at Swallow before shaking her head, a little bit warning perhaps. Life isn't about warnings or planning, it's about moving from experience to the next. Like water flowing around a bend, it's just going to flow, you just got to be like water and bend around situations. Swallow told her as he opened the sewer, ladies first. Huffing she jumped down into the sewer before Swallow soon joined her. Walking through the sewer, Swallow followed a map Roman had sent him on his scroll. So, Snake, quick question, what did you do for the last 2 weeks? Trained, went out, trained some more, that's about it. Snake said as she put her hands behind her head, having relaxed. I'm mostly going out to just relieve stress, tea shops mostly. So, Swallow looked at her, you like tea? Have you had Mistralian wind tea, it's frigging sweet. Swallow nodded at her question. Of course, I have, I grew up in Mistral. Swallow stopped himself before talking to more, but that place was mostly a dump. Yeah, I heard about the council there, the banning of emotions unless you're within the capital walls or elite. Snake hissed a little at the end, so where did you learn to fight? That's something I can share, Swallow says as they stop to take a breather, in fact it's my namesake. What your real name? No, my fake name. Swallow yep, anyway ever heard of the legendary thief Cheyenne Murasaki? Snake's eyes widened in her mask, the Cheyenne Murasaki. The purple Swallow herself, and she was an effective master to train under. Swallow said as he sat down, looking at the water stream and the sewer. It said that she was the one to steal one of the 4 artifacts of the twins, is it true? She was very interested in the story. Yep, it's also true that she never had any biological children, all of her children were adopted at young ages and trained under her. Some turned to evil, some just lived normal lives, and one followed her ways. Swallow tells her, the one that followed her ways is rumored to be here in Vale. From what I understand he's trained every day. What's his name? Snake inquires, maybe I can help track him down. No, she looked perturbed by sudden denial, he's a disciple brother. There's always been one standing rule of the Cheyenne children, no infighting. So, you can never fight each other? Swallow nodded as he leaned against the wall, listening to her question. We're not supposed to, but there's been a couple of disciples that made a habit of going around and killing former disciples themselves. Cheyenne was a good mother figure, she raised any and all children, even if they'd later betray her. Snake frowned under her mask, she died heroically however. The ones that betrayed her, 3 of her former disciples before taking me on. Who? Snake sat by him. The ox, the eagle, and the dragon. Ox and eagle were of a much older generation, before I was born. Cheyenne taught them Sashi younger than me, they had natural talent in it. Dragon on the other hand was a disciple brother of mine. Swallow scrunches his fists up, he believed that Ox and Dragon could train him better, develop his powers better. How old was she when she died? Snake questions before watching as Swallow chuckles. You're very interested in Cheyenne, isn't that why you modeled yourself after her naming style? The snake, it really doesn't suit you. Swallow says as he smirks under his mask, I personally prefer mantis, hummingbird, or deer. They're mesmerizing animals in their own rights. How can I not be interested in Cheyenne? She was the best of the best, but how old was she? Snake looked down as she sat by Swallow, most of us thieves die young. She died at the ripe old age of 79, she died on her birthday. Swallow sighs, I still remember delivering her cake to her. It took about a 3-hour trek from the woods to get to her hidden house in the woods. So, whatever happened, how powerful were they? Swallow sighs at her question. Ox has super strength and speed, he's a master of earth Sashi. Eagle is a master of wind Sashi and actually taught me a lot of the things I know of today, it's almost funny really since I fought against him and nearly died trying to save Cheyenne-sama. Swallow speaks with a hint of sadness, then there's that bastard dragon. Swallow gripped his hands, I don't know if my disciple brother Fox is still hunting him. However, from I understand Fox grew to take on Cheyenne's role. Ox and Eagle are strong, but Dragon is on a league of his own. Master of lightning and fire Sashi. He's also a master archer, swordsman, and not to mention has a Katachi control that far surpasses someone normal. All these, they're in the old language Sama meaning lord or lady, right? Swallow nodded, so you respected her Cheyenne that much to call her Lady Cheyenne? She is one of the only 3 women I've ever respected. Swallow told her, my mother being one and a special friend. What's her name? Not telling you, that's a secret, and here's the thing Snake. The more you keep your personal life outside of this life, the easier it is to be free from this life and live actual life. That's why I never say my name, I'm just the Swallow here. So what was the treasure she stole? You know people have fought wars over them, right? It was the Staff of Wukong, a weapon created for a monkey Fraunus of old that fought in the First Crusades against the Grimm. It's especially powerful in the hands of a warrior with a pure heart, for darkness just weakens the staff you've trained with it, yes, and I'm not actually half bad with it. Cheyenne Sama, however, she was a true master. So, why did you take the moniker Swallow? Because, when one of the family passes away, we take their name and their honor. Fox chose to keep Fox, Dragon of course, chose to keep Dragon like the bastard had a choice, and my little disciple's sister kept the moniker Dragonfly. How many monikers are there? 12 Ox, Dragonfly, Dragon, Fox, Eagle, Dolphin, Slug, Toad, Viper, Swallow, and finally Monkey. And that's it, there was only 12 4 generations, but there was a 13th moniker, that was Hummingbird. When Cheyenne died I took her moniker so that I could make those that hurt believe she was still about. I was formerly Hummingbird. Had a convoluted system. It kept us alive, it kept us safe, because in 4 generations there was 3 members that Cheyenne taught at a time. So, all you would have to do is wear the mask, and if someone trained under her they'd recognized you. Do you still have the Hummingbird mask? I treasure it like it's a newborn child. Swallow says as he gets up, enough talking, come on. You're right. Hey, by the way, quick question for you, why did you let that blonde hair guy save me? Snake asked. I wanted to see if he was Fox, but turns out he wasn't. Swallow answers, he's really powerful though plus stupid. So, you think he shouldn't have saved me? Snake inquires. I think he should have walked away, but I think he's the hero type. Swallow tells her, before they begin walking down the tunnel. Chapter 10. Naruto woke up, looking around, he sighed once he found Gamma back in the bed again. Smiling, he merely picked her up and took her back to her room as usual. Walking her into the room Naruto came upon Akka and Lee who were awake. They were both reading different books, with Lee looking at books about cooking and Akka reading about weapon forging. When did Gamma climb out of bed? Naruto asks the girls as he placed Gamma down, she should still be resting. She just missed you so we let her go in, how are you, big brother? Lee inquires as she reads her book, oh could we get some fresh chicken, I want to try to make us all beggars roast chicken. Maybe. Naruto tells her, I do have to go grocery shopping anyway. Yay. Lee cheers as she bounces and tackles Naruto in a hug, thank you, I promise it'll be super delicious. Naruto patted Lee's head, chuckling, you've always cooked good food, Lee. Now I've got to go wake up your brothers, maybe you could make them breakfast while I'm out. The blonde sighed as he looked at Aoi and Jai, alright guys, I'll be gone for about half the day getting the groceries, hold it down like you usually do. If something happens call me, I'll be here in a heartbeat, alright. Aoi and Jai nodded before watching their big brother walk out. Naruto slowly walked before coming onto a small dirt path that he had built. He was still going to work on building a steam down towards his house so they could work on a farmland possibly being made for next summer. He carried on his shoulders a very spacious pack made, but what was interesting was inside of the left web pocket of the pack, which was incense sticks. They jingled about in the pocket before Naruto came to a stop and walked towards a pile of rocks by a tall oak tree. There, by the pile of rocks was a small wooden shrine, and on a small rock tablet inside of the shrine was inscribed in the old language Cheyenne, and there he knelt before smiling warmly. He got out the incense and the match and lit them as he placed them in a small sand-filled cup. Where fox seeks the comfort of its burrow it's watched by the ever-soaring swallow, in times of sorrow she will give him song, in times of hunger she will give him worms for him to not starve, and in times of desperate she will teach him how to climb the tree she flies to. Naruto clapped his hands together and in turn the fox will learn to become the swallow and soar beyond what he ever thought possible. Mother of poor, sister of night, let me sing your praise tonight. Naruto says as he puts down a single coin onto the shrine, take my patronage and guide me until the next sunlight. Naruto got up before bowing, smiling as he began to walk away. He didn't notice the red leaf fall on top of the coin as he left before another yellow fell on top of it. Bale's markets were always a busy place. Naruto made his way through the crowd of people, whistling all the while. This is where Aem's ramen stand was as well so he may pay a visit there when he got the chance, but for now he was focused on what he came for. Walking over to stand selling fruits and vegetables, Naruto bowed in respect to the elderly man owning the stall. Verdant, good morning. Naruto said as he raised from the bow, the old man did the same. Ah, little fox, how have you been? Verdant greeted him with a warm smile, here to pick up some of my homegrown fruits. Well, yeah. Luckily, it's cold outside so they'll preserve quite nice as well. Jai and Aoi like oranges so can you give me 2 dozen? Verdant nodded, picking up 2 dozen packed oranges before watching Naruto get his backpack on the table. He placed them inside the pack as he waddled over to where Naruto was standing. 3 honeydews, 3 bags of grapes. Make sure to put the grabs in last, wouldn't want to smash them, or are you trying to make them wine AA? Naruto laughed at the pun before calming down, I still can make you smile after these 3 years. Since when couldn't you? I used to live here before getting that nice all shed in the woods. Speaking of, Naruto got out his scroll and showed the man a picture of it. I've done a lot of work to it. Oh my, you have, wow. Remind me to call you up when I actually build a shop. Verdant praises Naruto as he walks with the teen. I'm going to take a guess you want to get some lemons and lime. Naruto nodded and watched man pack him some, and can I get some dates? Gama really likes them, and onions for Dukang. For some reason he likes to eat raw onions. Naruto watched as the old man bagged the groceries into his backpack before he walked over and pointed at some watermelons for Akka. Oh, and old man Verdant, you wouldn't have any tea leaves, would? Oh, I got a fresh shipment in this morning, what would you like? Verdant inquires as they walk over to the tea leaves before Naruto stopped as his ears twitched. Help. Hey old man, I'll be right back. Naruto tells him before running to the source of the noise. The old man nodded, ringing up Naruto's items before smiling as he snuck in several different kinds of tea leaves into his back. I owe you one still, Verdant chuckles. Not many would have stepped up to save a drowning old man in grim infested waters. Naruto came upon a robbery, which was happening to a girl surrounded by 3 men. Stop struggling, baby, geez, what's in there that's so important? It's not what's in there. They turned to see Naruto tapping his shoulders. It's what she ordered you to do in the first place, hands off fellas. Boy, boss, look, it's a furry bastard. One of the men, a pudgy guy, called out pointing to Naruto. The boss, a rather slender-built man holding the girl, tossed her to the ground where she still clutched her bag. Naruto took notice of her. She had a rabbit's tail and was tan in complexion. The blonde sighed looking at her before looking back at the men. So which one of you racist cowards wants some? I'll take a piece, bastard. The third guy, a muscular man, states as he swings wildly at Naruto, who easily kicks the punch away. Naruto followed the momentum by leaving the ground and delivering an axe kick into the man's face, which sent him to the ground. The blonde dodged a pudgy man as he swung at him with a rather large blade before Naruto caught it in between his palms. Twisting his palms, the man's sword clattered out of his hands. Before he could react, Naruto's right fist jabbed him 3 consecutive times in the face. Throwing his left hand in a haymaker attempt, Naruto merely caught it and threw the man over his shoulder and to the ground. Spinning around with his arms up in the air, the blonde staff slid from under his shirt and into his palm. He expanded it out before twirling it about and smiled as he waved free hand in an inviting manner. Care for dance, skinny, or are you going to let the girl go and save yourself a broken jaw? Brog. The slender man screamed as he ran at Naruto with a cleaver, die frontis freak. Rolling his eyes, Naruto merely grabbed his staff like a bat and smashed it across the guy's face, breaking his jaw. The blonde brushed his staff off before decreasing its size to that of a small scroll and sliding it back under his clothing. See, Naruto crouched down before rubbing the man's hair as he barely mumbled in pain, that's what you get for not listening. Naruto felt a presence behind him and turned to grab 2 arms of the formerly 2 men from before. The blonde spun about before having both in an armbreaker hold. He smashed his foot into the both of their backs, which made them kneel. Boy, miss. She looked up at Naruto from the ground. How many times did they threaten you? I lost count. She stutters, it was rather cute, why? Heh, Naruto held their arms under his elbow as he slid his staff out and spun it around in his left hand. The 2 men looked at each other before they screamed out as Naruto smashed the staff onto the buttocks as if he was spanking an unruly child. Your mothers should be ashamed of themselves for allowing you to hurt innocent little girls. Naruto yells as he spanks them hard enough for loud slaps to be heard around the small gathering of the crowd. The crowd themselves were laughing a little at the would-be robber's peculiar situation. Say you're sorry. Naruto orders them. We're sorry, Miss Fronis, we're sorry, Mr. Fronis. They screamed as Naruto lets them go, please don't kill us. They crawled away, scrambling only to get tackled by police soon afterwards. The man whose jaw was broken attempted to get away as well, only for Naruto to come up from behind him and smirk. Going somewhere, sweetheart. The man turned around only to get blasted with a non-fatal amount of wind that sent towards the police. The police looked at Naruto, nodding, before they took the assailants into custody. The blonde spun the staff around before re-shrinking it and sliding it back under his shirt. Walking over to the girl, who could be no younger than 13, he offered his hand out. Thank you. She says as she is helped up. In her bag was nothing but books and photo albums from Naruto could tell. Not a problem, where's your parents at, they shouldn't let you wander alone. Naruto tells her as he looks around for more rabbit Fronis, geez, so neglectful nowadays. Sir, I'm not with my parents, I was here with my sister who got dragged off by one of her friends. She mutters lowly, I'm sorry to be a bother. Boy, don't sweat it, come on, walk with me, we'll run into her and her friend eventually. By the way, like the bow on your head, it's kind of cute. Naruto compliments her, my little sister likes wearing bows. Oh, the girl looks at him as they walk back towards Verdant's vending stand, what's her name? Lee, Naruto tells her, and I'm Naruto Uzumaki. Mr. Uzumaki, thank you, she bows while clutching her bag. My name's Rosie Scarlatina. That's a pretty name, so what's your sister's name and her friend's? Naruto inquired as they made it back to Verdant's, and he turned to see more than what he ordered of tea leaves inside of backpack. Verdant. No kid, don't Verdant me, you just keep being ya and doing good stuff. Oh, hey there Missy, would you like an apple? Verdant inquires as he tells Naruto not to worry about the extra items, it's freshly delivered from Miss Trell. Please, she speaks while nodding and watched as Verdant grabs the apple and hands it out to her, thank you. She takes the apple, smiling a little, before taking a bite out of it. So, I guess I'm done here for today Verdant, what's my total? Naruto questions the old man with a smile on his face as he hefts the backpack up over his shoulder. 450 leans. Verdant tells him, and not penny less or more. Naruto nods and hands the man his scroll, to which Verdant scans with his own scroll and transfers the funds. Pleasure doing business with you Verdant, I'm going to make sure to make Gamma some licorice tea and maybe some windrunner to help boost her immune system. Haha, good one Naruto, are you heading to see Hero next at the meat stand? Naruto nods, before watching Verdant pick out an orange, give this to him, it's a gift. Alright, Naruto takes the orange in hand, before walking over to where Hero was and Rosie closely following him, still chewing on the apple. So, Rosie, you seem like a country gal, what brings you to a big city? Naruto inquires as he puts both hands around the straps of his backpack. My sister, she's a student at Beacon, oh no. I forgot to tell you their names, I'm so sorry. She says in a panic, my sis's name is Velvet and her friend's is Coco. Ah, Naruto smiles, you must be a huntress in training yourself. Yes, but I'm not very good. Rosie tells him, I'm actually pathetic, really, I can't even use aura. Hey now, I used to know a great friend of mine from a long time ago that couldn't use aura. He was a human, but man, his heart was that of a faunus. He was strong, very strong, perhaps the reason why he couldn't manifest aura was because it's his semblance eating all the way. Naruto tells her with a smile, he was like brother to me, but we lost contact after a fateful night. Grim? She inquires. You could say that, Naruto sighs, you hungry? She nods, I'm a little hungry, my sis was supposed to feed me before getting dragged off. Rosie? Naruto suddenly hears, before turning around and seeing a tall brown-haired bunny-eared Franus running towards them. Rosie, oh thank the stars. Big sis. Rosie calls out, what's wrong? I heard there was a robbery attempt and I came running as fast as I could to get away from Coco. You okay, did anyone hurt you? Velvet looked over her sister before looking at the fox-eared Franus in front of her, who's he? He's a friend, he saved me from the robbers, his name is Naruto. The blonde flashed Velvet a peace sign when Rosie told her his name. Oh, thank you sir, I know it seems very irresponsible of me to leave my sis, but I told her to stay put at the vegetable stand. Velvet rubs the back of her head, sorry if she caused you any trouble. Naruto waved his hand, ain't nothing to it. Verdant is absent-minded sometimes, and he lets things slip past him. Anyway, I'm heading to a noodle stand if you all want to join me, I sort of promise Rosie here something to eat. Honka, what do we have here? Everyone turned to a brown tan-skinned human teen who was wearing rather expensive clothing and a pair of aviators. Velvet, when were you going to show us your boyfriend? The trio Franus scream out in confusion. So, let me get this straight, tall, blonde, and handsome Foxy here isn't your boyfriend. No Coco, he's just someone that helped my sister. I see, Rosie says you literally whooped them, is that true? Naruto finished sipping on his tea, smiling a little. Spanked them like their mamas should have. Coco laughed hard at the blonde's words, before resting on her elbow, so are you doing anything later? Yeah, I'm cooking at my house later. Naruto scratches his chin, but trust me, I'm a horrible cook. Screw the cooking, I'd rather have the desert. Coco licked her lips as she looks at Naruto while him and Rosie start a conversation on cooking, and Velvet looked over to her, what? They begin to whisper. You know what? Come on, are you honestly going to sit there and tell me that he's not the hottest Franus ever? I didn't say that, I just think it's highly inappropriate to act like that around my sister. Coco likes, Coco wants, and Coco gets. Not this time, not the last time, and not all the time. Buzzkill, sheesh, anyway, looks like our knight in shining yellow is done conversing with the little kid. Naruto smiles as he sees his friend walk towards his table. She stopped blinking a little before looking at the table of girls. My god, it's a miracle, you're actually dating. Naruto eyes bugged out, and which one is it? None of them. Look, it's a long story, I'm just coming into the market to buy groceries for the kids and was going to go home and make dinner. Naruto tells her, but I ran into a snafu along the way. Sighed, I knew it looked too good to be true. Damn it. Looked at them, smiling, I hope Naruto here isn't being too shy around you all. He rarely gets around girls his age, with the kids and all. Coco and Velvet stopped while Rosie looked at Naruto. "Hey kids." Coco screams, "He's already got kids, well us Faunus do have our children younger than humans, well this is awkward." Velvet twiddled her thumbs around. Jai and Aoi are doing fine. I just started their training regime last week." Naruto sips on his tea, "And they're my two best and finest prodigies." "What?" Coco and Velvet screamed in their heads, just old was he when he got someone pregnant. "Well, I hope you're taking care of them, in a lot of ways you're like a father more than a big brother." "Sheesh, you should go out more like this though, remember our talk." AM wiggled her eyebrows at him, making rub the back of his head. "Would it make you mate to let you know that the reason why I'm sitting is because I ended up doing more hero stuff?" Naruto chuckles, "AM put everything on my tab." "Ah, fine, but we're seriously going to talk about how you need to just lay low," AM mutters as she walks off about a certain troublesome blonde. "So, you've got brothers and sisters, that's cool." Velvet shyly says as she twiddles her thumbs. "Yeah, I have 6 in total, but 2 call me Papa." Naruto didn't expect them to both lurch forward and aim away as they spat out their tea. Rosie pinched her nose while Velvet and Coco began to barrage Naruto with a bunch of questions. "Oh, so that's how she knows about you, yeah, she's been a good friend for the last 3 years. WOW, you're pretty frigging awesome, you know that, well thanks I guess. No problem." Naruto and Coco were talking as Velvet and Rosie were playing on a prize machine involving a claw crane and such. "So, quick question for you then Mr. Handsome, are you truly single?" "Well, yeah, why?" Naruto asks before he sees Coco write her number down, but as she slid towards him he stopped her. "No." Why not?" Coco asks, "I'm sorry if I was little forward." "No, you're fine, it's just between what I do for a living and raising 6 young kids, I don't really have the time to date." Naruto tells her, "It's not that I don't appreciate it though. Besides, you're a really good person yourself." "I guess you're right, well I guess I better grab Velvet and Rosie and skedaddle. It was nice meeting you though, maybe we'll see each other again." Naruto nods and gives a thumbs up. "Sure, no problem, I just hope it's under better circumstances." Coco nods before walking over to her friends. Naruto sits there, alone, before sighing. "Well I better get this chicken, I'm already late." What if Naruto has ramen shop in rwby? End here and thanks for watching my video till the end.